From Art Keller Field in Kenosha, it's Carthage College football this afternoon. The Redmen in their homecoming game getting set to take on the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Good afternoon, everyone. John Weiser with you as we get set for NCAA Division III football on a chilly afternoon here on the lakeshore in Kenosha as the Redmen try and bounce back from their loss last week, 51-31, at the hands of Washington University. Their opponent this afternoon, the Elmhurst Blue Jays, they are looking for their first conference win of the year. They are 0-2 in the league, 1-2 overall, and they had a rather exciting game last week at home as they were able to move the football a little bit against Carroll early in that contest, but then things kind of fell apart late as they were able to get a late touchdown, the Blue Jays were, as they were able to get the ground game going and get a rushing touchdown early in that contest, and then able to turn the ball over, and Carroll was able to take care of the turnover count and recover a fumble late, and that led to a touchdown as well, or a field goal, I should say, late in that ball game. That made it 14-10, and then the Blue Jays, trying to make things go, got an interception, gave up an interception to Carroll late, and they were driving late and had the opportunity to take the lead, and then the interception by Greer in that ball game as Brandon Greer took the pick and returned it back to the 7-yard line, and Elmhurst was able to score the go-ahead touchdown at 14-10 at that point. But as I mentioned, Carroll came back. They were out of timeouts. They were able to complete a 24-yard pass down to the Elmhurst 13-yard line, and then the Pioneers snapped the ball, spiked the ball, but it was ruled that the spike on that play occurred before the chains were set, so essentially they got to play that down over, and on the ensuing play, on the what would have been the second down, Bailing hit Parker Zitsky in the end zone for the game-winning 13-yard touchdown with 6 seconds left. So the Blue Jays trying to bounce back from a tough loss at home, and they are struggling at the quarterback position coming into the game here today. It'll be Ryan Summers, a sophomore, getting the start today. Orlando Hernandez, their starting quarterback, along with their backup Chase Hankins, both injured last week, so not available coming into the contest here today. This Blue Jay team averaging about 11 points per game. That's 10th in the league in points per game. And they are 9th in the league in passing offense, middle of the road with 147 yards rushing in the conference, and that's good for 5th. But their defense has also struggled. They are giving up 224 yards per game on the ground. That is 10th and last in the CCIW in the ground game. So we'll see how the Redmen play this out. They do have a couple of weapons. The Blue Jays, their slot receiver, Jawan Gaines, is a speed burner, 5'8", 165, a junior, already with 10 receptions and 2 touchdowns this year, and he had 1 catch for 1 touchdown last week against Carroll. So this is a team that, as I said, has some big play capability. So we'll have to see how that plays out here this afternoon. Ben Holloway runs the football. He is averaging 65 yards per carry in his attempts so far this year. Defensively, very strong in the back end. Brandon Greer, who is named to the Division III D3 Football Team of the Week this past week. He had 11 tackles, 4 tackle for losses, and a sack in the game against Carroll. He leads the team in tackles with 27, and he has 5 tackle for losses on the season. So that is the player to watch defensively. Offensively for the Redmen, they are hurting at quarterback as well. Kyle Freiberg will be a game-time decision here today. If he cannot go, it'll be Billy Dury, the sophomore, that will start things for the Redmen, who are averaging about 23 points per game. They are 3rd in the league in passing offense at 283. They need to get the ground game going here this afternoon, particularly if Dury is going to start. They are averaging 133 yards on the ground. And for this team, they are getting better at 3rd down. Last week, they were 10 for 22 on 3rd down conversions. Matter of fact, last week, the Redmen won just about every statistical category except the score in that contest against WashU in the loss in St. Louis. Lafayette McGarry will be running the football here this afternoon. Like to see him get going here today. He had 17 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown last week. Certainly plenty of weapons to throw to, particularly Evan French, who leads the team in receptions with 20. Tommy Bazaric, a possession receiver. Bazaric with 5 receptions and a touchdown last week against Washington University. Brett Patton coming on as well, starting to become a weapon. The junior wide receiver had his best day as a Redmond receiver. 6 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown last week against Washington University. Defensively for the Redmond, very, very strong defense here. Kevin O'Boyle had 8 tackles and 3 tackle for losses last week against the Bears, and he leads that linebacking core along with Emmett Trost. Malik Thigpen has slid into that nickelback nicely. 5 tackles and 1 sack last week against Wash U. And of course, Amani Dennis continues his interception feats here. He's got 4 on the year now. He picked up another pick last week against the Bears. He now has 4 on the season. So this will be a great matchup here today between a couple of teams hungry for a win. And Redmond would like to get one here at home before they head out on the road next week at Illinois Wesleyan. Big, important game here today for Carthage. We'll visit with head coach Dustin Haas, get his thoughts on today's ball game when we return out following this 60-second break. You are listening to Carthage Redmond football on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome back to Art Keller Field, everyone, as we get set for Homecoming 2018. The Redmond getting set to take on the Elmhurst Blue Jays. We're in the tunnel with head football coach Dustin Haas, and team coming off of a tough loss in St. Louis last week, looking to bounce back here today. And before we get started on the interview, I wanted to talk a little bit about a homecoming event that you had here today for the football alums.
Yeah, we had the alumni back on campus this morning to be a part of our pregame activities with the team, and it went great. Had quite a few guys come back and participate, and they were at our walkthrough this morning. They got to see the hype-up video we showed the team, and then got to eat the pregame meal with the team as well. So it was great to have some of our past players with our present guys.
Kind of closes the circle on what it's like to be a football player here at Carthage College.
It does, and they both have stories to share, and our alumni can share about the successes they had here, and then the successes they went on to in their work careers and in their life, and it's good to get those two groups together.
It's fantastic to have everyone back here today, part of Homecoming 2018. Wish we had better news last week out of St. Louis. Boy, you take a 6.5-hour bus ride, you want to come back with a win because it makes that trip back home a lot longer in a 51-31 loss, and plenty to talk about there. I think the first thing is, well, the opening drive went so spectacularly well. I think 7-8 plays, right down the field and scored 2.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think you look at that drive, I think you look at our offense as a whole, we moved the ball all day long. We just did not finish. We had 4 9-play drives. I think we had a 10-play drive there, like you said, the 7 or 8-play touchdown drive. And it's on us. We did not play well in any facet of the game on Saturday. A lot of that comes down to me, and got to get these guys ready to play smart football and finish football drives.
I was going to say, I don't want to take anything away from Wash U because they had to capitalize on the mistakes and on the misfires, and they did that. 17 points off turnovers. They collected a safety. Redmond missed a field goal, and there's your margin of victory right there.
You're exactly right. They're an extremely well-coached team. They played really, really hard. I think that quarterback had a really, really good day. he was unbelievable. He didn't miss a whole lot of throws, and their kids made plays when given the opportunity.
So as a staff, how does it go coaching up a team coming off a tough loss? You know, I go back to the Oshkosh loss. Okay, pretty much everyone expected the Redmen to lose, but not by that margin. And so you feel pretty good. Hey, we were with a nationally ranked team for 4 quarters, but how does that change, or does that change coming into this week?
Yeah, I think they hurt a little bit more after this loss. I think most of it is because after showing them the film, they realized that the big reason we lost was on us. We made a lot of mental errors at key times, and that's why we lost the football game. It's one thing to get beat by a better team, and it's another thing to beat yourself.
And I look at the seniors, the leadership there, and I talked to a couple on the way in today, and they said, hey, we've had a fantastic week. We're cleaning things up. We're taking charge and showing these guys that, hey, as you said, it's on us, and that was just a blip. That's not the way we play.
You're exactly right. We've got great leadership, and our seniors are bought into what we're doing. They play extremely hard, and they realize the mistakes we made, and we spent the week fixing them.
Now, some questions going into the game here today, and I guess my first one is, what's the status of quarterback Kyle Freiberg today?
Yeah, Kyle got dinged up in the game again on Saturday. He's not going to go today. They're kind of evaluating his situation there, and he's not going to play today. But he's been around. He's been in all the meetings, and he's a kid that doesn't have to be on the field to lead, which is one of his best qualities.
So now it's going to be up to Billy Dury and Colin Klein.
Colton Klein, yep.
Colton
and Billy, they're both going to play. We'll see kind of who has the hot hand, who's playing well. They both give us a different dimension in the game, and so we're excited to see what those guys can do with a full week of one's reps under their belt.
And it's up to the team to help rally around these two guys and put them in positions to be successful today.
There's no doubt. The receivers got to catch balls, the offensive line has to make blocks, and the defense has to play the way they're capable of playing.
So that takes care of the offensive side, and defensively, the health of your team.
Pretty good. Normal bumps and bruises and scrapes of playing in a big-time college football game, but we're very healthy.
Your opponent today, the Elmhurst Blue Jays, come in dinged up too, particularly at quarterback. They have struggled early in their ball games. They have yet to score a point in the first quarter. I think that has put them behind the 8 ball and thus has eliminated pretty much their running game coming into the game here today.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think they're having some of the troubles that we're having. You watch the game film, and they moved the ball on just about everybody, and they've had some trouble scoring in the red zone. Augustana game sticks out to me. They moved the ball inside the 23 or 4 times and turned it over every single time. So I know that's probably a point of emphasis on their coaching staff to get those things cleaned up. And it's a CCIW football game. They're going to come out, they're going to play hard, and it's going to be a good battle. It's
always a hard game. It's funny how teams kind of pick and choose who their rivals are, but it seems like, and I've mentioned this every year, that Elmhurst seems to choose the Carthage game as their big rivalry game of the year.
Well, I think having Coach Plans on staff helps. He's a Carthage alum. They've got Coach Burdick, who coached here before as well. I think that helps juice those guys up.
Defensively, they've got one player that stands out, Brandon Greer, their defensive back, named to the D3 Football Team of the Week for the second time this season, this past week. Quite a week. 4 tackle for losses, a sack, and a 73-yard interception.
Yeah, an incredible player. Transfer from Central Michigan. Played quite a bit of football at Central. Had a lot of stats up there. It didn't work out up there, and he came down to Elmhurst and is easily their best player on defense. He's 6'1", 210 pounds, and plays corner. Athletic kid, runs well, makes a lot of plays for him.
This presents a matchup. Who's going to get that matchup?
It'll depend on who they want to stick him on. Typically they've been throwing him to the boundary. They like to bring him on that boundary corner blitz quite a bit. So it'll see if they stay with that, and then he'll get both French and Patton, or see if he follows French around and goes to the field.
Leads us now to our keys to the ball game today. What's it going to take for a Redmen win?
I think it's going to take us to finish drives. We moved the ball on everybody we played. I think we have to execute in the red zone and finish drives with points, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. We do that, and we'll be successful.
Should be a great crowd. A little bit cooler than it's been in the last couple of weeks, so that should be a help as well.
Yeah, fall is finally here. My wife likes Game of Thrones. She keeps telling me winter is coming.
Go get him, Dustin.
Thank you.
Head football coach Dustin Haas joining us in the tunnel here today as the Carthage Redmen gets it to take on the Elmhurst Blue Jays in the homecoming game here at Art Keller Field. I'll be back with starting lineups and the kickoff of this afternoon's game right after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
As they get set to take on the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Redmen here this afternoon, as we'll go with head coach Dustin Haas and the Carthage Redmen here to start things off. And he is in his first season as head football coach here. Zach Grabner will start at left tackle, 6 foot 289, a senior out of Elmhurst, Wisconsin. Chris Goldschmidt on the left guard, 6'2", 285, a senior from Alsip, Illinois. Nick Barker will center the ball, 6'3", 306, a senior out of Tinley Park. Travis Werner, 6'2", 279, a junior out of New Lenox, Illinois, will play right guard. The right tackle today will be Joseph Ali, 6'5", 292, and a sophomore. The tight end will be Sean Wells, 6'2", 252, a senior out of Scottsville, Michigan. Running backs will be Liam Pooler and Lafayette McGarry. Actually, it'll be McGarry getting the start today, 5'8", 196, the senior out of the Hope Academy in Chicago. And then the wide receivers, Tommy Bazaric, 5'10", 167, a senior out of Park Ridge. Evan French, 6'1", 191, a senior out of Joliet. And Brett Patton, 6'1", 190, a junior out of East Kentwood, Michigan. And the quarterback today, it's going to be Billy Dury. Dury, 6'1", 209, a sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Kyle Freiberg on the injured list today, not going to play for the Redmen. It'll be Dury getting the start. We will see Colton Klein as well at that quarterback position. Defensively for the Redmen, a 4-3 alignment. And it's going to be Cam Stubblefield up front at one defensive end, 6'1", 203, a junior out of Naples, Florida. Jacob Seimer, the local kid out of Pleasant Prairie, 6'2", 298, a junior from Kenosha Indian Trail. Cedric Fry, 6'1", 308, a senior out of Urbana, Illinois at defensive tackle. And at the right end will be Jeremy Benke, 6'1", 266, a senior out of Lake in the Hills, Illinois. The nickelback will be Malik Thigpen, 5'11", 189, the junior out of Fort Myers, Florida. The linebackers, Emmett Trost in the middle, 5'11", 210, the senior out of Elwood. And the outside linebacker, Kevin O'Boyle, coming off his best game as a Redman. 8 tackles and 3 tackle for losses against the Bears last week. 6', 225, a sophomore out of Plainfield, Illinois. The secondary, it'll be Bobby Baker at one corner, 5'6", 154, the sophomore out of Savannah, Georgia. The strong safety, Jogi Bumba, 5'9", 180, a senior out of Urbana, Illinois. The free safety will be Amani Dennis with 4 picks, leads the conference in that category, 5'11", 180, the senior out of Wheeling. And Connor Calvert at the other corner, 5'9", 180, the senior out of Caledonia, Michigan. Both teams on the field. The captain's getting set to meet at the center of the field. For the Redmen today, it's going to be Jogi Bumba along with Emmett Trost and Nick Barker, and Kyle Freiberg wearing his jersey today but out because of injury will also be out there for the Redmen as a captain. For the Blue Jays out there, it'll be Ben Holloway, Brandon Dominski, along with Nick Julio, and Luke Kuhn, sophomore. Our referee today is Floyd Sutton, conducting the coin toss here today.
Okay.
So Blue Jays get the call here.
It is ahead.
And we're having a problem with our referee, Mike. Blue Jays won the toss. They will defer. They will defend the goal to our left, the south goal. Redmen will get the football to start this ball game. They will defend the north goal to our right. Again, it's overcast here. We had some sunshine this morning, but it is overcast, and we're going to turn things over here to Bosco Jurkovic for a moment.
Remember, Carthage College 1965 graduate and 2013 Carthage Athletic Hall of Fame inductee Don Welke. Welke passed away last week at the age of 75. Don was a 4-year letter winner in baseball at Carthage from 1962 to 65 and went on to serve in the front offices of multiple Major League Baseball organizations for more than 50 years. At this time, please rise and join us in a moment of silence as we remember Don Welke. Thank you. Now please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Alex Heitling, senior from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alex Heitling, a senior here at Carthage College out of Appleton, Wisconsin, singing our national anthem this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s. We have a breeze off the lake out of the east at about 10 miles per hour. That's kind of a crosswind from near sideline to far sideline here as we view it on the video stream here today. So that'll present a little bit of a crosswind action here. Redmond will get the football here today. And the game ball going to be presented now. Yep. And that's Sharon Keller, daughter of Art Keller.
Thank you, Sharon.
Art's wife Beverly here today, handing out the game ball to head coach Dustin Haas here this afternoon, part of the homecoming tradition here at Carthage College. Other games this afternoon in the CCIW, just 2 other afternoon games. Washington University is at North Park. Illinois Wesleyan is in Waukesha this afternoon to take on Carroll. Later on this evening, Augustana is at Milliken, a 6:30 kick. And the battle for the Little Brass Bell will take place in Naperville tonight as North Central will host Wheaton in a 7 o'clock game in Naperville. Christian Jones along with Tommy Bazarek standing deep here for the Redmen. Jones had a 96-yard touchdown run called back last week against Washington University.
Elmhurst.
Blake Bailey has it teed up here on the near sideline. All primary color day today. Elmhurst in the blue jerseys, blue pants, blue helmet, white numerals, white trim. Redmond in the all red uniforms, red jerseys, red pants, white numerals, red helmets. Bazarek and Jones standing to my right, awaiting the kick here from Blake Bailey. The run up, the kick, it's a short one, and it's going to be taken at the 8-yard line by Jones. Across the 20, near sideline 25, staggers at the numeral across the 30, and pulled back at the 31-yard line. Good return. On special team for the Blue Jays that time was Brandon Greer getting down there, the senior out of Madison, Illinois. And so it'll be 1st and 10 Redmen at their own 31. Again, up front for Carthage, Grabner, Goldschmidt, Barker, Werner, and Ali. The line from left to right. Billy Dury getting the start today, 6'1", 209-pound sophomore. So it's his third game appearance. The work out of the eye. Lafayette McGarry now off to the side, and he'll get the handoff. Fake handoff. They'll pass it looking for French. Ball in the air, and it's incomplete. Broken up by Greer, who had single coverage on Evan French that time. They're trying to go to French, and Greer was with him step for step and got a left hand in there to knock it away from Evan French. Second down 10 from the 31. Defensively for the Blue Jays, a three-man front. Sean Kelly up front at one defensive end, LaVore Little, the other defensive end, Ross Beck in the middle at nose guard. We'll set the linebackers in secondary for you following this second down and 10 from the 31. This time Dury does hand it off to McGarry, and he's met at the line and driven back. Nothing there. Nothing there at all. Jim Phelps, a linebacker, in there to make the stop. It'll be a loss back to the 30-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1. It'll set up a 3rd and 11. It'll be Clay, Dominski, Phelps, and Derns, the linebackers today, with Greer, Sean Jay, Angel Mata, and Stefan Postman, your secondary. 3rd and 11 for Carthage at their own 30-yard line. Dury going to throw. Now scrambling to his right, trying to get free. Breaks free, dumps it over the middle. It's incomplete. Looking for a flag, and there is one there. Bazarek interfered with as he tried to come back to that pass. Check that, Evan French, 84, the intended receiver. Looked like he got bumped in the back. We'll check out the call from Floyd Sutton here.
Pass interference. Number 1. It's a spot foul. First down.
Sean Jay, the guilty party, the safety that time, got into the back of French before the ball got there. They'll spot it at the 44-yard line and a first down for the Redmen. So first down by penalty, fresh set here for the Redmen and from their own 44. French and Bazarek lined up here to the near side with Bazarek in a slot. McGarry the tailback, and McGarry gets the call over the right side across the 45, surges to the 46-yard line. Gain of about 2 by Lafayette McGarry, his second carry this afternoon. They showed a 4-man front that time. Once again, on the bottom of that pile, Jimmy Phelps, the senior out of Lawrence, Michigan. Second down, 7 from the 47 for the Redmen. Dury wants to throw with time, going right side, back shoulder throw, and the catch is made at the 35-yard line. Nice play there by Brett Patton on that reception. It was a back shoulder throw to about the 40-yard line. It was right behind Greer, who was covering Patton that time. He turned around, made a diving grab at the 36-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Redmen. Gain of 17 on the play for Brett Patton. I mentioned he's coming on, had 6 receptions for 90 yards a week ago against the Washington University Bears. First and 10 Redmen at the Blue Jay 36. 13-10 to go here, first quarter, opening drive. This is Liam Pooler with his first carry, going over the right side, dives into the 35, maybe the 34-yard line for a pickup of 2. Trying to get a surge off that right side, provided by Travis Warner and Joseph Ali, the right tackle and right guard out there for the Redmen. Officially a gain of 1. Second down and 9 for the Redmen. Luke Kuhn in on that stop for the Blue Jays. From the 35, second down, 9. Give us to McGarry. McGarry tried to go left, cut back to the right, and was swarmed under once again. Another good surge up front, Sean Kelly. Also in there, Romaine. Let's see here, Romaine Richards was in on that stop for the Blue Jays. Loss of 1, it's 3rd and 10 here. French and Patton split here to the near side. They'll roll Dury to his left, squares his shoulders, delivers the ball wide open. French inside the 25, fights inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Redmen, a gain of 17 again. This time moving Dury to his left, able to square up and throw, and threw a strike to Evan French for the first down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 17 on the play for the Redmen. 1st and 10 Carthage. McGeary tries the right side, cuts it at the hash mark. Inside the 15, spun down near the 13-yard line.
Close to the 12-yard line.
Gain of about 6 on the play for McGeary. Sean Jay, the strong safety out of Algonquin there to make the stop for Elmhurst. Carthage moving the ball, getting a break on that first 3rd down conversion on the pass interference call by Jay. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 for the Redmen at the 12. Dury fakes the handoff, comes back to throw a bubble screen near side, pass complete. Catch is made. Patrick Murphy with the reception. 6'3", 199, a sophomore out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. That's just his 8th catch of the year for Murphy. Gain of 1, so it brings up 3rd and 2 here for the Redmen. Murphy will line up wide to the right, along with Patton. They'll give it to McGeary. Up the middle, McGeary to the 5, goal line, touchdown, Carthage. Lafayette McGeary running it right up the gut that time. Runs it in for the touchdown. For McGeary, that is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Excellent job up front. Barker, Goldschmidt, Grabner, that left side, able to open up the hole for McGeary. It's an early 6-0 lead for the Redmen. Unland for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 7-0 Redmen, scoring on their opening drive. A 10-yard rushing touchdown for McGeary, his 3rd of the year. A 10-play, 69-yard drive for the Redmen, and the big play, the pass interference call on Sean Jay into the back of Evan French on a scramble by Dury that kept this drive going for the Redmen. So Dury on that drive, 3 for 4 for 36 yards. McGeary 5 carries for 18. And French, Patton, and Murphy all catching clutch passes, particularly Patton and French, 1st down receptions to continue the drive.
Along with 16, Justin Barbs.
Gaines and Parbs are standing deep. This is a low line drive taken by one of the short men at the 25. Circles out across the 35, moving forward to the 38-yard line. Would have been Jim Robley, the senior. Tight end, 6 foot 180, a senior out of Orland Park. Kind of in the middle of that return group, so a nice return here. Gives good field position for the Blue Jays, who have struggled at that quarterback spot as well. It's actually going to be Jake Tahaney in there at quarterback. He's going to be taking the snap here. He'll fake, he'll run the option, going to throw it outside, and the catch is made inbounds at the Redmen 46-yard line. A diving grab on a low throw on the read option, and Tahaney was laid out as he let that one go. Another injury to the quarterback position here for the Blue Jays. So you got a timeout here with 10:28 to go in the first quarter, and the quarterback, Jake Tahaney, a 5'11 junior out of East Lansing, Michigan, injured on that play. He took a shot as he delivered that football. North Park up early on Washington University, 7-0. They're scoring on their opening drive. Carroll hosting Illinois Wesleyan this afternoon in Waukesha, and then later tonight, Milliken plays host to Augustana, and then the battle for the Little Brass Bell, North Central taking on Wheaton in Naperville tonight. Well, as if Ron Plants did not have enough to worry about, his top 2 quarterbacks knocked out of the game. Now his backup will take a seat, and now this will be Ryan Summers, a sophomore at quarterback for Elmhurst. So Tahaney injured. They'll stack 3 receivers here to the near side on 1st down. 15-yard pickup on that last pass play. Again, they'll run the speed option here, and it goes through the hands of the receiver, Dimitri Valcourt. Incomplete. Little RPO action that time by Summers, faking to Holloway and then trying to toss it near side to Valcourt. It goes through his hands, incomplete, brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the Redmond 46. Zach Dixon, the left tackle, Jeremy Allen, the left guard, Nick Pulio, the center, David Michaels, the right guard, and Chandler Cowan, the right tackle. Theo Edens is a tight end. Gaines, Mimoser, and Valcourt, the receivers, with Holloway, the running back. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. 4 receivers, 2 by 2 here. They'll fake the handoff. It's the quarterback, Summers, with the room inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, brought down from behind as he was chased down by Bobby Baker inside the Redmond 5-yard line. A 41-yard run that time on the option by Summers, and he had room. He got past Trost, who bit on the fake, moved to his right inside. That left the left side of the Redmond defense wide open, and Summers able to take it down to the Redmond 5-yard line. 41-yard run for the sophomore quarterback, 1st and goal, Blue Jays. Holloway, the single back. Gaines lined up in a slot here to the right side, along with Mimoser. Now Gaines in motion, and they'll hand it off, trying to run up the middle, and nothing there. Kevin O'Boyle was right there, the linebacker for the Redmond, along with Jogi Bumba. Be a loss back to the 9-yard line, a loss of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 9. Redmond defense trying to buckle down here. They have struggled in the red zone. They have scored on only 3 of their 6 red zone penetrations this year. All 3 were field goals. Again, they are looking for their first points in a first quarter. Gaines in motion to the near side. Summers wants to throw. Now breaks down, and he goes down back at the 11-yard line. Malik Thigpen, who had a sack last week, will add 1 more to that category. The junior out of Fort Myers, Florida, able to bring him down. So it'll be a sack back to the 10-yard line. And it'll set up a 3rd and goal from the 10. As we mentioned, this team has struggled in the red zone. Just 3 for 6, all 3 field goals. This time they'll stack 3 receivers here to the near side. Holloway in single back. Gaines breaks in motion to the left, now cuts back to his right. Summers will get the snap with time. Delivers, and it's incomplete. Gaines not sure where he was going with that one. It was thrown in front of him. A good 4 yards incomplete, and the field goal unit coming on for the Blue Jays. So once again, they penetrate the red zone and unable to get a touchdown score. This will be Blake Bailey on for the field goal.
Blake Bailey into attempt, 27-yard.
It'll be a 27-yard field goal straight on. Jay on the hold. Rademacher with the snap. High snap, ball down, kick a low one, and it is no good, wide to the left. So the Blue Jays miss an opportunity here. They get a 41-yard run down to the 5-yard line, setting up a 1st and goal, but they lose yardage on their next 3 plays and miss the field goal. And it remains a 7-0 ball game. Redmond in front with 7:57 to play here in this first quarter. Again, a reminder coming up later today, some more Carthage athletics. Women's volleyball here at home tonight. They will be hosting Augustana. Congratulations to Leanne Ulmer. She has picked up her 500th victory as volleyball coach here at the Carthage College. Did that last weekend. They'll be in action tonight, 6 o'clock here at the Tarble Arena. 1st and 10 Redmond at the 20-yard line after the missed field goal. And this will be Colton Klein in at quarterback here to start this drive. Gets the high snap, hands it off to McGeary, dives over the right side across the 22, maybe the 23-yard line for McGeary. Sean Jay, the safety, in there on the stop.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Mark it at the 23-yard line, right hash mark, as the Redmen go right to left here in this first quarter. French and Bazaric lined up into the right side. Brett Patton here to the near side. Tight end Wells and a wing here to the left side. Single back is McGeary. Klein from the pistol. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to McGarry, going to loft it here to the sideline, looking for Patton. He made the catch, but out of bounds. Well covered on the play by Brandon Greer.
Incomplete, intended for number 87, Brett Patton. Third down,
Too much air underneath that one. Patton had a little bit of room there, but credit Greer, who made the D3Football.com Team of the Week for the second time this year after his performance last week. 11 tackles, 4 tackle for losses, a sack, and a 73-yard interception. 3rd and 7 now for the Redmen at their own 23. Klein will hand it off to McGarry. Nothing there. Got to the 24-yard line. The defense was ready. A lot of penetration there, a lot of blue jerseys through that line of scrimmage to stop McGarry. So the Redmen go 3 and out following the missed field goal, and it'll bring on Ricky Klein to punt. Klein averaging 42 yards per kick. Had 3 punts last week for a 38-yard average. And the dangerous Jawan Gaines will stand at his own 40-yard line. He was chosen second team all-conference as a return specialist last year. Rush is on, and he gets it away. Klein, an end-over-end kick. He'll take a Carthage bounce across midfield and go out of bounds at the Blue Jay 46-yard line. So just a 30-yard punt that time with a strong rush on. And so, again, excellent field position to start this drive for Elmhurst. 6.5 minutes to go here in our first quarter, and Carthage in front by a score of 7-0. Gabe Vila in now at a defensive end here on the left side for the Redmen. Ryan Summers, 2 backs in the backfield, flanking him either side here from the pistol. And you're going to give it to Holloway, working the left side. Holloway gets across the line for a couple before he is put under there. On the chase for the Redmen, Benke and O'Boyle.
Make that a gain of 2, second down
So
and 8
pickup of
from
2
the
on that play.
48-yard line. O'Boyle on the tackle.
They'll spot it at the Blue Jay 48-yard line. 2nd down and 8. 3 receivers here to the near side for Elmhurst. Fake to Holloway. They'll throw it into the slot, and it's caught. Diving grab made there by Jawan Gaines. The slot receiver on a quick slant route across midfield to the Redmen 47-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Jogi Bumba there to make the tackle. So it sets up 3rd and short here for Elmhurst. Velcourt split out to the left side. Gaines and Mimoser here to the near side with Gaines in a slot. Tight end Robley in motion. Summers going to throw his way. It's thrown low and incomplete. He was open. Coverage on the play provided by Frankie Gazzano.
Summers pass intended for number 35, Jim Robley.
So 0 for 2 now on 3rd down are the Blue Jays, and they will be forced to punt for the first time this afternoon.
Bailey in the kick for the Blue Jays. Tommy Bazarek is deep for the Redmen.
So Bazarek standing at his own 10-yard line, awaiting the punt. Good snap. And Bailey with a kick and a diving grab at the 20-yard line by the fearless Tommy Bazarek. I don't think he's called a fair catch yet on any punts this season. He dove after that one right at the 20-yard line. So 5:07 to go here in the first quarter. Redmen lead at 7-0, scoring on their opening drive as they did last week against Washington University. And have kind of stalled out here. They'll give another shot here to Colton Klein. Again, if you're joining us, Kyle Freiberg, the starting quarterback for the Redmen, injured and not dressed here today. From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, McGarry. Across the middle out to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 4. A bit of a draw. It's kind of one of those strange delay type draw plays that they run with the quarterback out of the pistol formation. Once again, Jay, the strong safety, in on the stop for the Blue Jays. 2nd down and 6 for Carthage. Ball at the 24-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Klein rolling left, throws it left, completes the pass to Patton out at the 28-yard line. Wrestled down there by Tavy Derns. Second catch of the day for Patton. So a pickup of about 4 will set up a 3rd and 2 here for the Redmen. So Klein completing his first pass of the afternoon. Hands it off to McGeary. First down. Spins out of a tackle. Dives forward near the 34-yard line. Running up the middle that time for a gain of 6 was Lafayette McGeary. They'll pick up a Redmond first down. Good job that time out of the ankle tackle by the linebacker that time. He was able to step out of that and gain some extra yardage. 1st and 10 Redmond. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Carthage leading 7-0. Klein again working from the pistol. Wells, the tight end, lined up on the right side. McGeary lining up to the right side of Klein. He'll take the handoff. Steps back, left side 40. Lowers his head to the 45, out to the 46-yard line. Bull charge that time into Angel Mata, the free safety, as McGeary just put his head down and ran through the tackle of Mata that time. It'll be gain out to the 46-yard line. Pickup of 12 by McGeary. 1st and 10 Redmond. McGeary again tries to circle right. He's pulled down from behind. Luke Kuhn there, 6'2" sophomore from Inverness, Illinois, making the tackle. It'll be a loss of 1 to set up a 2nd and 11. The Redmond 45. Colton Klein takes the snap, will hand it off. First carry of the afternoon here by Dave Fontenot. Fontenot is a freshman out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. His first carry as a Redman. He's 5'9", 192, and a freshman. He will stay out there for this 3rd down play. From the 49-yard line, 3rd and 7 for the Redmen. Ball at their own 49-yard line. Kiesel lined up in a slot near side with Patton. And now Bazaric comes in motion out of the right slot. Klein, nowhere to go, and down he goes back at the 44-yard line. Luke Kuhn again in on that sack for the Blue Jays, back to the 44-yard line, and that will stall the Redmond drive at midfield.
So loss of 6 on the play brings up 4th down and 13.
So 4th and 13. And this is Amani Dennis back to punt here. Let's keep an eye on this one. Different punter.
Amani Dennis is in the kick for the Redmond. Gaines is deep for Elmhurst.
Gaines standing at his own 25-yard line. Dennis with that 34-yard fake 2 weeks ago against Carroll. Kicks this one away. Will drift down the far sideline. Gaines had to let it hit, and it rolls out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So they'll mark it out at the 19-yard line. 38-yard punt that time by Amani Dennis. 1:38 to go. We're in the first quarter here in Kenosha on an overcast and cool afternoon. Redmond lead it by a score of 7-0. Carthage football brought to you in part by Lou Perini's Gas and Grocery of Kenosha. Something different, a sports fan Fantasyland on 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. And by our good friends at Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha, just east of I-94 and Highway 50. Visit them online at lynchchevroletofkenosha.com. Loose ball to the far side. That was a pitch. Redmond recover. Bobby Baker able to recover. It was a fumble. They rule it a fumble or a pass behind the line of scrimmage. Either way, that ball didn't cross the line, and Bobby Baker kept it alive, went after it. There are penalty markers down, however, near the 20-yard line. Let's see what we have.
The back pass recovered by Carthage. To the play on sportsmanlike conduct. Number 2 of Carthage. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. First down Carthage. That is number first unsportsmanlike act towards disqualification.
So Jogi Bumba picks up an unnecessary penalty there. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So that takes out what would have been a beautiful recovery by Baker inside the 20-yard line. We'll move the football out to the Blue Jay 29-yard line. And again, difference between playing the edge and playing over the edge. And Bumba, a little too much extracurricular after the play. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the afternoon. This will be Dury in at quarterback on this drive. He'll hand it off to McGarry. Works the middle. McGarry gets his way forward down to the 26-yard line where he is stopped there.
To the 26-yard line.
Number 35 needs to leave the game for a helmet off. One play.
Yeah, McGarry's lid came off, so he's going to have to step out for a play. They'll put Fontenot, the freshman, back in there now at running back for the Redmen. Approaching a minute to go here in this first quarter, 7-0. Redmen trying to take advantage of a backward pass recovered by Bobby Baker. 2nd down and 7 from the 26 of the Blue Jays. They'll throw it out there, and it's complete far side. Catch is made. Evan French rustled down inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Still on his feet. They finally blow him dead at the 9-yard line. 17-yard pickup again on a nice play as he was looking at single coverage by Greer, who backed off at the last second. Check that, Stephen Postman, who was defending out there, kind of retreated just before the snap. That gave French an open lane out there to make that catch down to the 9-yard line. Another 17-yard pickup for French and a 1st down for the Redmen. 1st and goal at the 9. Fontenot cuts back to his left across the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Brandon Greer in on that stop for the Blue Jays. 15 seconds to go here in this first quarter. I think the Redmen are going to just take this into the second quarter, have a 2nd and goal from the 5. When we come back, 7-0 Carthage scoring on their opening drive. A 69-yard march, and that's the score here at the end of one quarter. Redmen 7, Blue Jays nothing on your home for Carthage football, Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Second and goal, Redmen here as we begin our second quarter. John Weiser with you from Art Keller Field in Kenosha. From the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal, handoff to Fontenot, the freshman, struggles forward, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Good defense once again by the Blue Jays, stuffing the Redmen here in the red zone. Mata was there defensively. So 3rd and goal from the 5 for the Redmen. 10 of 13 in the red zone this year, the Redmen. 8 of those touchdowns. McGarry back in as a tailback here on 3rd and goal from the 5. The snap over the head of Dury. He's got to jump on it back at the 22-yard line. Bad snap by Barker, and then we've got late penalty flags here, and I think Sean Wells going to be picked up for a roughing call here. He had Jimmy Phelps down on the ground, and they were wrestling well after the play, and I think Wells was the one that will get picked here. If that's the case, it's going to pull the Redmen out of field goal range. Undisciplined penalties by the Redmen the last 2 weeks have cost Carthage. Last week, a 96-yard kickoff return nullified by a block in the back. When you look at the film,
After the play on unnecessary roughness, number 8. It is 4.
it's on Sean Wells on the personal foul call, and again takes the Redmen out of field goal range. Cost the Redmen with Yogi Bumba on the unnecessary roughness call, unsportsmanlike conduct, and now it takes them out of field goal range here.
15-yard penalty. Ball spotted the 38-yard line. It is 4th down.
So 4th down for the Redmen, and instead of being able to kick a field goal, they're going to have to go for it here on 4th down. This kind of stuff can't happen, and Dustin Haas is having a nice one-sided discussion with Sean Wells here on the near sideline, as he should. Dury with 3 receivers to the left on 4th down. Blitz coming off the outside. Dury scrambling, going to throw, hits his man, Bazaric. Bazaric with the catch down to the 20-yard line, but that's going to end the play there. The drive will end at the 19-yard line, and they'll turn it over on downs. That would have been a 4th and goal. Greer there on the stop, so Elmhurst will take over at their own 19-yard line. So those 2 penalties on that drive took points off the board from the Redmen. They would have had the ball 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And then following the sack of Dury, they would have had a field goal attempt, but because of the personal foul call, took them out of field goal range. So Blue Jays will take over at their own 19-yard line. Malik Thigpen showing blitz. They'll hand it off to Holloway. Going to be chased down in the backfield by Emmett Trost. Trost able to get there first and pull Holloway down for a loss back at the 14-yard line. It'd be a loss of 5 on the play. Great job by Emmett Trost. Again, the Redmen were showing blitz with the nickelback Malik Thigpen off the left side. He was able to jump in and seal that edge off. That allowed Trost to fly through and make the play defensively. 2nd and 15 for the Blue Jays. Early second quarter, Redmen up 7-0. Summers will send Gaines in motion to the near side, wants to throw, comes back near side, ball in the air, and it's nearly picked off. Amani Dennis had it in his hands and lost it. Boy, he read the play beautifully here on the near side. They sent Gaines in motion here to the near side, and we're going to throw near side, but that pass was up the field out near the 15-yard line, and Amani Dennis, who has 4 picks on the season already, nearly had number 5. Jumped in front of Gaines again that time and nearly picked that one off. So 3rd and 15. Cedric Fry will come in now at a defensive tackle for the Redmen. 3 receivers to the left here for Summers. Holloway in motion out of the backfield. They try and throw it to him out of the backfield. Complete at the 10, across the 15, and out near the 19-yard line where Emmett Trost will rustle him down there. Well short of the 1st down, and so the Blue Jays will be forced to punt. Good defensive stop here by the Redmen. This will be Bailey again punting. Casanova had been doing the punting of late, but now this is Blake Bailey, their place kicker, doing the punting here. Gets a good snap. Boomba coming off the edge, not able to get there, and Bazaric makes the reception at the 50 and pulled down there as he was trying to get some traction to his left. Casey Dobchik getting down there defensively for the Blue Jays to make the stop right at midfield. 12.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Carthage 7, Elmhurst College nothing. Illinois Wesleyan and Carroll are knotted up at 7 each early in the second quarter, as is Wash U and North Park. They're tied at 7. That game also in the second quarter. Major League Baseball, top of the 6th inning now in Chicago. Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-1. Dury throwing, rolling right, dumps it out to French, makes the catch inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Evan French with another great grab right in front of all-conference performer Brandon Greer, the cornerback here on the near side. Dury rolling to his right, got his shoulders square as he got that one away, and French able to make the catch. They'll spot it at the 26-yard line. Handoff, Liam Pooler. He struggles forward for a couple. Gain of 2 up the right side by Liam Pooler. Once again, Jay, the strong safety, in there on the stop. Sets up 2nd and long here. Call it 2nd and 8 from the Blue Jay 24-yard line. Pooler lines up to the right side of the quarterback. Dury fakes the handoff, now wants to run up the middle with some room. Dury with his feet, bounces off tackle at 10, outside the left side 5, goal line, touchdown. Touchdown, Carthage College on the feet of Billy Dury, the quarterback. Broke 3 different tackles up the middle, then sprinted to his left at the 10-yard line and angled it in front of the far pylon for the 2nd score of the day. Billy Dury out of Indianapolis, Indiana, his first rushing touchdown as a Redman. And it's 13-0 Carthage. Extra point on the way here. High snap, Kiesel gets it down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-0 Redmond, 11.5 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. We'll step out. We'll take a 60 break. Carthage in front, 14-0 over Elmhurst on AM 1050 WLIP.
David Collins to kick off for Redmond. On the kickoff return to about the 23-yard line.
Juwan Gaines with the return following Unland's kickoff out to the 23-yard line where he is stopped there. Penalty markers on the play as well.
On return, number 51. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Zach Hazelhoff on special teams with a block in the back call here against the Blue Jays. They'll move the football back inside the 15-yard line for the Blue Jays. They'll start this drive at their own 13-yard line, trailing now 14-0. Summers will have 3 receivers to his left. Holloway a single back. Fake the handoff. They throw back near side. Incomplete pass thrown behind the intended receiver. That was Jacob Moser, the senior out of Rock Falls, Illinois.
Summers pass incomplete. Intended for number 13, Jacob Moser. 2nd down, 10 from the 13.
So bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Belcourt, single receiver out to the right side. Gaines and Mimoser lined up here the near side with Gaines in a slot. Summers with 7 on the play clock here. Redmond shifting the defense around. They'll go single coverage, press coverage on the wideouts here, and a timeout taken here by Elmhurst. A lot of confusion on the face of Summers, the quarterback, as he got to that formation. Wasn't quite sure. Ron Plants will take the timeout. 11:22 to go here in this first half. Redmond lead it by a score of 14-0. Carthage football on 1050 WLIP, brought to you in part by Steve Vigiano Insurance of Kenosha. You need Steve. Call him today at 262-605-9880 or visit VigianoINS.com. By our good friends at S.J. Crystal's Menswear for the finest in men's fashions. It's clearly S.J. Crystal's, 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. And by Mason's Eatery and Pub, located on Highway 50 west of Green Bay Road. Don't be a chain eater. Eat at Mason's. Visit them online at masonbar.com. Redmond on the road next week. They'll be at Bloomington, Illinois to take on Illinois Wesleyan. We'll be with you at 12:30 next Saturday afternoon from Tucci Stadium. 2nd and 10 from the 13 for the Blue Jays following the timeout. They fake to Holloway, come back in the slot, pass is incomplete. They're throwing on a slant route that time, looking for Moser, the outside receiver here, lined up on the left side of the formation. He was late getting there, and that was nearly picked off again by Imani Dennis. So 3rd and 10 for Elmhurst. They'll bunch 3 receivers here to the near side. Velcourt, Mimosa, and Gaines, with Gaines in motion now to the right. Blitz coming. Summers under pressure, gets flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right, throwing on the run, intercepted by Trost. Emmett Trost with the pick, out of bounds across the 20-yard line for the Redmen. Emmett Trost with his first interception of the season. And Carthage picks up another takeaway here today off the Blue Jay offense. Again, they flushed Summers out. Got good pressure that time. Kevin O'Boyle with the chase, forcing Dury out of the pocket, throwing on the run, and Emmett Trost able to step in front of Gaines to intercept that pass to the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Carthage there. 11:09 to go first half. Redmond leading 14-0. And Colton Klein will lead them out as quarterback here. I have Patton lined up in a slot here to the near side. Check that, Patrick Murphy lined up in a slot here near side. And they'll roll Colton out, throws to the tight end. Wells, touchdown Carthage. Colton Klein on the run pass option that time. Little fake to McGeary. Continued rolling to his left, waited for Sean Wells to clear, and Wells makes his 3rd reception of the year, his first touchdown grab of the season, and the Redmen lead it by a score of 20-0. Simple RPO that time, working the left side with Klein, faking the handoff, pulling it back out at the last minute, continued circling to his left, waited for Wells to clear the line of scrimmage. He was left wide open at the goal line for the touchdown. Unland's attempt for the extra point is up, and it is good. 21-0 in favor of the Redmen with 11:04 to play here in this first half. They take advantage of the Emmett Trost interception and cash it in for 7. Again, the Redmen going back to that RPO look. Again, trying to do things that fit into the style of play for their 2 quarterbacks here today. Dury with the stronger arm, and Colton Klein a little bit taller and a little bit able to execute the RPO to excellence that time. And that was another key coming into this game here today, trying to get Sean Wells, the tight end, involved in this game a little bit more. Coming in, only had 2 receptions. Normally that's been the safety valve for Carthage over the last couple years, throwing to the tight end. David Collins, the freshman out of Pewaukee, who does the kickoffs for the Redmen, drives this one to Gaines back at his own 4, circling right across the 10, 15, 20, 25 and dropped down short of the 30-yard line.
Gaines returns to the 29-yard line.
They'll mark him down at the 29-yard line. Albert Rogalski, the senior out of Wilmot High School in Trevor, Wisconsin, able to get down and make the stop on special teams for Carthage. So it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Jays from their own 29-yard line. Just under 11 minutes to play here in this first half. Three receivers left here for the Blue Jays. They'll swing it out, complete to Gaines. Makes the catch across the 30, 35, and tackled out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Amani Dennis able to knock him down at the 40. It's a gain of 11. Juwan Gaines, his first catch this afternoon. So a first down for the Blue Jays out to their 40-yard line, trailing by 3 scores here early in this second quarter. They'll bunch the receiving core to the right side. Moser, Gaines, and Valcourt. Single back is Holloway. Summers from the pistol will roll to his left. Thought about the option, cuts back up the middle, and is pulled down by Emmett Trost near the 43-yard line. Trost getting there to make the stop. Trost with a pick today. Able to turn that pick into 7 points. The Redmen were able to do on that last drive. So a gain of 3 makes it 2nd and 7 from their own 43. Three receivers to the right here for the Blue Jays. They'll take the slot receiver, the tight end, move him in motion here the near side. They'll fake the handoff to Holloway, throw it back near side looking for Moser. It is incomplete. Frankie Gazzano in at safety here. Nearest defender to Moser that time. And it brings up a 3rd down, 3rd and 7 now for Elmhurst. Blue Jays 0 for 4 on 3rd downs today. This will be a 3rd and 7 from their own 43. Xavier Grimble now in as a slot receiver to the right side. They'll fake to Holloway. Summers rolling to his right under pressure, and down he goes. Cam Stubblefield with his 3rd sack of the season, able to chase down Summers back near the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 and a 4th down for the Blue Jays. Trying to roll Summers out to his right, and Stubblefield shed his block off the left defensive end and came flying through for the sack, his 3rd of the season. And the Blue Jays now will punt this one away. Blake Bailey, who's been doing the punting today, gets a good snap and just got that one away as Rogalski nearly blocked that. Takes a roll down the far sideline and out of bounds near the Redmond 29-yard line. That's where they'll mark it out. 36-yard punt that time by Blake Bailey. 8:50 to go in this first half. 21-0 in favor of the Redmen. Colton Klein back out there at quarterback for the Redmen. McGarry the single back. Bazarek and Murphy lined up here to the near side on this first down play. Klein working from the pistol, has McGarry to his left, will hand it off. McGarry coming to his right, cuts at the hash mark across the 30, 35, across the 40, and knocked down near the 43-yard line. Jay was able to get him down. 16-yard pickup by Lafayette McGarry on the ground that time. Great blocking off that right side. Excellent job by Bazarek to seal that edge off and allow the cutback lane to open up for McGarry. Pick up a 16 and a first down. McGarry again tries to go up the middle across the 45, out to the 46 before he is driven back there.
McGarry, gain of 2 to the 47, 2nd down and 8.
Bring up a 2nd and 8. All just short of the 47-yard line. They'll fake to McGeary over the middle. Wide open. The catch is made by Murphy. Murphy across the 20 and pulled down at the 10-yard line. Broken coverage there as Murphy was lined up here on the near side, ran a skinny post route and got past Brandon Greer. I think he thought he was going to get some safety help over the top that time, but there was nothing there. And Murphy takes it down to the Blue Jay 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Redmond. Now Klein on a scramble. Going to be pulled down at the 11-yard line. Davy Derns, the 5'9 sophomore out of Tinley Park, able to make the play on Klein for a loss. Actually a gain of 1 on the play to the 11. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. "41-yard grab by Murphy. 3 receivers here to the right side for the Redmen. Murphy and Bazarek, the double slot here. They'll give it to McGeary. Cuts to his left to the 10. Angles to the sideline. Steps it out of bounds as he tried to make his cut at the 5. His back foot going out of bounds just inside the 7-yard line. It was Greer who made the stop.
3rd down and 4 from the Elmhurst 6.
So 3rd down and 4 at the Blue Jay 6-yard line. C.J. Davis, a freshman wide receiver, in here now, along with Murphy and Bazarek. Klein wants to throw on 3rd down. Now scrambles, goes up the middle, sidesteps a man at the 5, dives to the goal line. Did not get in, but he'll pick up the 1st down at the 1-yard line. It was simply a quarterback draw that time on the part of Colton Klein. As he got to the left hash, took it down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Carthage at the 1. Wells will line up to the left side, the tight end. High snap, Klein brings it down to McGeary. 2nd effort, McGeary runs it in for the touchdown. Lafayette McGeary, his 2nd score today. A 1-yard touchdown run, and the Redmen add to their lead now at 27-0.
93 Lance Unland in to attempt the extra point. Kiesel to hold.
Unland on for the extra point. Good snap. Kiesel gets it down. The kick is away, and the kick is good. 7 plays, 71-yard drive, 41 of them by Patrick Murphy on a beautiful pitch and catch from Klein to Murphy. Set them up in the red zone. And after a scramble by Klein to pick up the 1st down, McGeary goes in from the 1. And the Redmen add to their lead here, 28-0 over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Redmen have won 3 straight in this series. 31-8 victory a year ago over this Blue Jay team. McGeary now 16 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Klein today 2 for 3 for 45 yards. Dury 5 for 7 for 72 yards. Murphy 2 catches for 43 yards. French a pair of catches for 34. Patton 2 receptions for 21 so far today. Collins kick. Going to take Greer out of the end zone. He's going to bring it out. Across the 5, up the middle of the 10, and buried at the 15-yard line.
Gaines returns to the 16-yard line.
They'll mark it at just across the 15-yard line. Off the bottom of that pile, Jalen Slater, a freshman out of Bellwood. Montini Catholic High School, able to get down there on special teams to make the play for the Redmen. So the Blue Jays will start this drive at their own 16-yard line. 6:24 to play, first half. 28-0 Redmen. Three receivers to the right here for Summers, working out of the pistol. Fakes to Holloway. Going to run the fade route out to the far sideline. Incomplete, looking for Valcourt that time.
Summers pass intended for number 4, Dimitri Valcourt, incomplete. Second down.
Good coverage out there by Bobby Baker on that far side. Sets up a 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Valcourt, single receiver, lined up in press coverage with him is Connor Calvert. 2 receivers to the right. Single back is Holloway, and movement up front as the right tackle fired off.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Chandler Cohen, the right tackle, half second too early that time. Redmond were shifting up front. They were moving their linebackers and their line back more inside, more a tight formation defensively, and as they were making that move, Cohen jumped offside. So a 2nd and 15 from the 11-yard line facing the Blue Jays. Greer is lined up in a slot here to the near side along with Valcourt. Mimosa out there as well, along with Robley. Summers going to throw back near side, ball in the air. It is in and out of the hands of the receiver. Greer incomplete. Calvert and Boomba were both there, but there was a penalty marker thrown. This might be a defensive holding call here on Calvert.
Holding, defense, number 7. That's a 10-yard penalty. The ball across the line of scrimmage, automatic. First down, 1st and 10.
So they pick up the first down by virtue of the holding call here. Connor Calvert.
First down, 1st and 10, Elmhurst at the 21.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 Blue Jays at the 21-yard line. 6:13 to play here in the first half. It's been all Carthage here. A couple of turnovers by the Blue Jays, cashed in for points today for the Redmen. 4 receivers, 2 to a side here for Summers. Gone exclusively to the air, now wants to scramble, going over the right side. He's going to be pulled down for a short gain of 1. The old option fake that time, but Cam Stubblefield not faked out. He was able to make the play there for a 1-yard pickup.
Stubblefield on the tackle, 2nd down, and 10 from the 21.
Stubblefield with a sack today already. 2nd down and 10. 4 receiver look here. Valcourt and Greer here to the near side. Robley lined up in a slot here to the far side. Again, going to throw. Ball's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Jeremy Benke. Got his hands up that time to deflect that pass and knock it down. It's exactly how you're taught as a rush end on that defensive end side. Get your head upfield, get your hands up. Knock that pass away, and that's exactly what Benke did. Credit Cam Stubblefield, too, for getting in there, forcing Dury to get that one away. 3rd and 10 now for the Blue Jays at their own 21. Again, a 4 receiver look, single back. Summer going to throw right side. Ball's tipped and nearly intercepted. It was intended for Mimosa out there. Baker got a tip on it, and Boomba almost scooped that one up for an interception. Too much air under that one. It was thrown high to Mimosa. Baker broke it up, and on the deflection, Boomba almost circled under that ball for the 2nd pick of the day for the Redmen. Bailey now on to punt. 5th punt of the day already for Blake Bailey. Gets this one away. Bazurek at the 46 makes the catch, tries to circle to his right, gets to the 47-yard line, and that's it. 1-yard gain on the return by Bazurek. And so the Redmen will take over with 5:10 to go here in this first half, leading 28-0.
The introduction of the homecoming court and king and queen, and also our pass punt contestant.
So let's see what the Redmen do here. It'll be Dury coming out for this drive. Again, Kyle Freiberg not in uniform today, was injured second half of the game last week. Not expected to play today, so it's been Dury and Colton Klein, the quarterbacks today for the Redmen. And Dury will fake the handoff to Pooler. Running down the field, Evan French, catch made 30, 20, 15, 10. Wrestled down, trying to step out of the tackle, and finally brought down to the turf at the Blue Jay 2-yard line. Another play fake that time, and it was Stefan Postman who finally got French down at the 2-yard line. Again, the post route has been effective here today on this Blue Jay defense. Third time today the Redmen have hit that little skinny post route coming off the near side. First and goal, Redmen at the 2. Pooler. Second effort won't get him in, down to the 2-yard line. So Evan French with that 51-yard grab. He now has 85 receiving yards on the day. Murphy had that 41-yard on the same route back on the last drive for the Redmen. Second and goal now for Carthage at the 3-yard line. Fake the handoff to McGeary, going to throw it in the end zone. It's incomplete. Looking for French. He was tangled up in hand-to-hand combat in the back of the end zone with Brandon Greer. So we'll set up a third and goal from the 3. 4:12 to go here in this first half. Redmen lead it 28-0. Looking for more here. McGeary the single back. French single receiver to the right. Patton single receiver to the left. Tight end Wells lined up left side. Fake to McGeary. Tries the slant route back to French. It's broken up incomplete, but a penalty marker down. Greer broke that one up from French, but may have gotten in there early.
Pass intended for French, incomplete. Penalty marker on the play.
May have made contact with French before the ball got there. Tough to tell on that replay angle that we got up here.
Pass interference, defense, 26. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. Automatic, first down.
The foul occurring in the end zone, so they'll move the ball back to the 2-yard line in a fresh set of downs. It'll be first and goal, Redmen at the 2. The penalty on Greer for the interference call. This time they'll give it to McGeary, and he'll run it in. 2-yard touchdown run for McGeary, his third touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redmen continue the route here of Elmhurst, 34-0.
Elmhurst, nothing. For the Redmen, 93, Lance Unland in to attempt the extra point.
Unland on for the extra point once again. McGeary today, 17 carries, 72 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the Redmen. Snap, spot, kick, and it is good. 35-0 Redmen. 4 plays, 53 yards. Big play on that drive, the 51-yard pass reception by French down to the 2-yard line. And the Redmen lead it now by a score of 35-0.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty assessed on kickoff. That's number 1's first unsportsmanlike act towards disqualification.
Sean Jay, the sophomore on special teams, commits the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. One more look at McGeary's touchdown run over the left side. Untouched into the end zone, his 3rd score of the day. He had 2 touchdowns coming in. Redmen up 35-0, approaching halftime. Halftime in Waukesha. Illinois Wesleyan leading Carroll 14-7, that game at the half. Washington University and North Park in a tussle down in Chicago, 21-14 Bears. That game also at the half. kicking from the 50. Greer will take it and will sit on it 9 yards deep in the end zone for the touchback.
Elmhurst, 1st and 10.
Blue Jays unable to get much done today offensively. Summers today 1 for 5 for just 5 yards. He has 3 rushing attempts for a net of 40 today. And Gaines and Mimoser each with a reception. Tahaney, who started at quarterback today, completed the very first pass of the game but was hit and injured on that first play. So it's been all Summers here. And they're also without their 2 senior quarterbacks, Orlando Hernandez and Chase Hankins. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver left here, single back in the backfield. Holloway out of the backfield now. They'll run it. Summers on an option. Pulled down across the 30 at the 31-yard line. Kevin O'Boyle there to make the stop for the Redmen. Gain of about 6 that time for Summers. Blue Jays held scoreless in that first quarter. They have yet to score a point in the first quarter this season. They're being shut out here today, 35-0 by the Redmen. Again, they empty out the backfield. Again, Summers going to keep it. And again, he's wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. Jogi Bumba off the bottom of that pile, getting in there for the Redmen.
Bumba in on the stop. Along with number 90, Villa.
Gabe Vila in there too as well. Vila, the sophomore, 6'5", 230, spelling Cam Stubblefield here on this drive. Now 3rd and 4 now for the Blue Jays. Yet to convert a 3rd down here today. Fake the handoff. Summers now in trouble. Down he goes behind the line of scrimmage. Gabe Vila, check that 97, Benke there to make that sack.
Loss on the play. Jeremy Benke on the
Benke will get credited with the sack.
Ball spotted at the 29
back at the 29-yard line.
4th down 6 from the 29.
So we'll bring up a 4th and 6, and the Blue Jays again have yet to convert on 3rd down today. Mazurek standing inside his own 35, awaiting Blake Bailey's punt. Redmond with 10 on the line of scrimmage here. They got a block. Rogalski got the block. And Amani Dennis able to usher that ball out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Albert Rogalski, the senior, came in clean off the right side, took it right off the toe of Blake Bailey. And the block punt sets the Redmen up now. Inside the 35-yard line, they'll spot it at the 33 here late in this first half with 2:06 to go. Redmond getting the special teams involved here today. Colton Klein will take them out on this drive. They'll go with 2 tight ends here for the Redmen. Wells and Sammy Limbaugh both lined up to the left side. McGarry in the backfield for Colton Klein. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Wants to throw, looking for French, and it's incomplete. French ran a go route down the numerals that time. I think Klein was looking more for a slant. Didn't come up with it that time. On the coverage was Postman for the Blue Jays. They have hit big time with that today. Murphy and French each on that almost identical play. 2nd and 10 for the Redmen at the Blue Jay 33. Again, they fake the handoff. Again, they come back looking for French. Goes up for it, can't come up with it. Again, one-on-one coverage with Postman here on the near side. Redmen love that matchup.
3rd down 10 from the 33.
And again, I'm kind of surprised they've got Greer playing offside, the other side here. On the other receiver, Patton. He'll cover Patton here out of the slot. Patton here lined up in a slot near side with French. 3rd and 10 now for the Redmen. Klein rolling right. Wants to throw, has time. Steps up, delivers to Patton, makes the catch right at the 1st down sticks.
Klein's pass is complete to Patton.
It'll be a gain of 10 on the play for Patton. Nice grab. got to the line marker and then made the catch. And now we've got an injured Blue Jay player down at the 25-yard line.
Officials timeout for defensive injury.
Looks like it's Lavore Little, the 5'10 junior out of Chicago, with a right leg injury. He is down at the 23-yard line. Going to the bottom of the 8th at Wrigley Field, the Cubs trail the Cardinals 2-1. Cishak in there pitching now for the Cubs in relief of Cole Hamels. Big Ten football this afternoon. Indiana leading Rutgers 24-17. 3 minutes to go in that one. Minute to go in the 4th. Looks like Michigan State at home is going to beat Central Michigan today. Spartans lead at 31-20. Later on this afternoon in Lincoln, Nebraska, Purdue taking on the Cornhuskers. In Evanston this afternoon, a 2:30 kick. It'll be Michigan and Northwestern. And the big game tonight, the Big Ten, Penn State hosting Ohio State. The Badgers with the bye week this week, following their big win in Iowa City last Saturday night. I'll get home tonight. I'm going to flip on that Stanford Notre Dame game tonight. Get a fire going in the fireplace and an adult beverage and relax in front of college football tonight. 1st and 10, Redmond at the 23. Klein fakes the handoff to McGeary. Now going to run up the left side with some room across the 15 and thrown down near the 11-yard line. Be a 12-yard pickup by Colton Klein. Again, a late pullback out of the belly of McGeary that time on the option fake. And then took it around the left side for a 12-yard pickup and a first down for the Redmen at the 11. Clock continues to roll, 1:23 to play in the half. Carthage up 35-0. French and Bazarek lined up here to the near side. Two tight end look. McGeary the single back now to the right of Colton Klein. He'll get the handoff, picks his way around the left side to the 10, 5, goal line, touchdown. Lafayette McGeary, his 4th touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redmen continue the crush on Elmhurst, 41-0. Well, Rogalski's block punt set the Redmen up at the 33-yard line, and they're able to convert the big play, the 3rd down catch by Patton, right at the 1st down sticks. And the Redmen continue to roll here this afternoon. Unlin on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 42-0 Carthage with just over a minute to go here in this first half. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have a special presentation to one of the former Carthage track standouts here at Carthage College. Mia Bennett will get an award. We'll have that for you live here on 1050 WLIP and on the video stream this afternoon. We'll run down the scoring drives and give you the stat summary of the day. We'll have that for you, as well as all the scores going on in the CCIW. 2 other afternoon games going on today, 2 more under the lights tonight. Big one tonight, a couple of ranked teams. North Central hosting Wheaton in the battle for the Little Brass Bell. David Collins, the freshman from Pewaukee, puts a foot into this one. High end over end kick, Greer will take at the goal line. Gains across the 15. Bounces off a tackle outside 30, and Collins, the kicker, going to wrestle him down out of bounds near the 36-yard line with a face mask penalty added to it.
Gaines returns to about the 38-yard line, penalty markers on the play.
So Collins, the kicker, got there to make the stop, but he may have committed a face mask penalty on the play. We've also got an injured Blue Jay player down right at the sideline.
Play. pass.
I think Collins committed 2 penalties on that play, a horse collar and a face mask. They'll decline the horse collar penalty. They'll accept the face mask penalty. They'll step off 15 additional yards here off the return.
First one was declined. The face mask is accepted. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
So they'll move the ball to the Redmond 48-yard line. This is the deepest penetration by the Blue Jays since their second drive of the day that got them down inside the Redmond 10, where they proceeded to miss a field goal. Jawan Gaines is the injured player on that sideline for the Blue Jays. And boy, if you're the head coach for Elmhurst right now, Ron Plants, you got to just be shaking your head. You've lost, in the last 2 weeks, you've lost 3 quarterbacks. Your number 1 starter, your number 1 backup. So you went with Tahaney today, who's normally a wide receiver. In his first play from scrimmage, he gets hit and knocked out of the game. And now you've lost arguably what is your best playmaker in Jawan Gaines, the junior slot receiver out of Villa Park, Illinois, to an injury here late in the first half. So Treston Womack, a junior from Hewitt, Texas, in there now at just 5'7", 165. He'll line up here as the second slot receiver along with Mimoser and Grimble. 51 seconds to play in the half. Blue Jays have it 1st and 10. Try a fade route down the far sideline, and shielding him off the play, that was Valcourt, the intended receiver. Connor Calvert, the defender for the Redmen.
Intended for Valcourt. 2nd down, 10 from the 48.
Sets up a 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Summers again in trouble, scrambling to his right. Going to be pulled down from behind just across the line of scrimmage. Cameron Stubblefield there to make the tackle for the Redmen. Inbounds. Clock continues to roll here. 30 seconds to go in the half. Blue Jays have a couple of timeouts left here. Again, Summers scrambling. Again under pressure, gets it away. It is tipped through the hands of Connor Calvert, incomplete. Was looking for Valcourt. It was overthrown. Calvert was out there, got a hand on it, knocked it away, and it brings up 4th down. Blue Jays now 0 for 7 on 3rd downs today. Down 42-0 here. They will go for it on 4th down here. And Gaines is back in there now. That's a good sign for the Blue Jays. He was injured on that kickoff return. Now under pressure, and down goes Summers. Rolled up from behind by Cam Stubblefield. His 2nd sack of the afternoon, and the Blue Jay drive fizzles out at the Elmhurst 44-yard line, a loss of 7.
46-yard line.
So not only are the Blue Jays 0 for 7 on 3rd downs, they're 0 for 2 going for it on 4th down today. If I were the Redmen, I'd try and fire one more pass. They've had that slant route open all day. I'd take advantage of it one more time. Billy Dury coming out here with 13 seconds to go in the half. He'll have Patton lined up on the far side, the left side of the formation. French lined up here on the near side. Take advantage of Postman here with press coverage on French. He's bailing out. He'll hand it off. This is McGeary over the left side. McGeary with some room. 30, 25, 20. Still on his feet, breaks a tackle inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Clock will stop while they reset the chains.
Timeout.
Redmond want a timeout here,
Carthage.
Absolutely. Get a chance to
Number
get some
one.
more points on the board.
32 yards, first and 10.
A run of 32, longest of the season
At the 14-yard line, timeout Carthage.
for Lafayette McGarry. Had a 29-yard run against Carroll 2 weeks ago. Picks up 32 here. It'll be first down Redmond at the 14-yard line with 3.6 seconds to play. McGarry now over 100 yards rushing today. 16 carries, 101 yards, and 4 touchdowns today for Lafayette McGarry. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays, they have struggled. -2 rushing yards today. -8 passing yards. So they've been in negative territory all day when you take in those sacks and those tackle for losses. Dury with one more play, and this one's going to be picked off. Tried to go over the middle, and it's intercepted. Coming down the near side with it is Jimmy Phelps. He'll get out of bounds at the Redmond sideline. Now we got a late flag. Brandon Greer took down one of the Redmond linemen, Nick Barker. So we'll see what this is all about. Looks like the half will end here. Redmond are heading to their locker room. Blue Jays getting ready to head to theirs. We'll check out the call.
There will be an untimed down. Red, there will be an untimed down.
They're going to have an untimed down here.
There will be an untimed down.
So the Redmen have to come back from the locker room here.
94. Personal foul.
Got a personal foul call here against Luke Kuhn of the Blue Jays. So they will decline the penalty, and the half is over. They declined it, so the Redmen declined it, so they don't have to run the down here. So our half will come to an end here in Kenosha with Carthage blowing out the Elmhurst Blue Jays today by a score of 42-0 here at the half. We'll take a 2-minute break, back to run down some numbers for you right after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
The first half that was declined by the Redmen. That's the end of the first half with the score: Carthage 42 and Elmhurst 0.
Gotcha. Scott, I got you on RK2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Carthage Red Hawks.
I need stats. Yeah, I'm here. Okay, no, I made the switch. I caught your text. Okay, I know one was really acting up, huh? Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Red Hots. At this time, please direct your attention to midfield for a special presentation.
We have a special presentation coming up here right now. For Maya Bennett, we're going to take you to the PA announcer and Bosco Jurkovic.
Last spring in Birmingham, Alabama, Mia Bennett won Carthage's 18th national title in school history, winning the weight throw at the 2018 NCAA Division III Indoor Championships. Mia finished her career as one of the most decorated individuals in program history with 11 All-Conference awards, 5 All-American honors, 2 CCIW Championship MVPs, and is the owner of 2 school records. Today, Mia is joined by head coach Stephanie Doman, throws coach Greg Raimondi, director of athletics Michelle Manning, as President John Swallow presents Mia with her 2018 National Championship ring. Mia Bennett.
Mia Bennett getting her NCAA Division III championship ring for the hammer throw in the indoor
Congratulations,
championships.
Mia.
And hugs all around. Michelle Manning, the new athletic director here at Carthage College, along with President John Swallow. Stephanie Doman, the track coach, out there for that presentation, part of our special halftime feature here today. The Redmen leading Elmhurst 42-0 here, scoring 42 first half points today, as it was 4 touchdowns in that first half by Lafayette McGeary. And he sets a record, personal record here at Carthage, 4 touchdowns in a game by McGeary. He now has 6 on the season. He's over 100 yards rushing today as well. He got the scoring going first, getting the first touchdown, 11-yard run. And then the Redmond defense gave up the big run by Summers. That set the Blue Jays up on their first drive inside the Redmond 10-yard line at the 6, but they missed a field goal. And then a backward pass on their next drive was recovered by Bobby Baker. Early in the second quarter, it was Billy Dury getting into the scorebook. Dury on a quarterback scramble looked like he was going to go down at the 10, broke it out to the left side and raced to the near pylon on the left side of the field for the touchdown. That made it 14-0. Again, the Redmond defense coming up big as they forced Dury out of the pocket on their next series, throwing on the run, and the pass was intercepted by Emmett Trost, who returned it inside the 20, out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And that set up Lafayette McGarry again, or Colton Klein, I should say, with a nice little jump pass to Sean Wells, who was left wide open, his first touchdown reception of the year. McGeary able to run it in for his second score from 2 yards out. And then McGeary again going up the middle for his third touchdown of the day, and touchdown number 4 coming late here in this first half as he circled out of the backfield, a 13-yard run. 4 touchdowns on the day for Lafayette McGeary, and the Redmen have opened up a 42-0 lead. Elsewhere in the CCIW this afternoon, third quarter just getting underway in Chicago. It's Washington University on top of North Park, 24-14. Interesting battle going on in Waukesha this afternoon. Illinois Wesleyan leading Carroll by a score of 14-7. That game at the half. Brandon Bauer for the Titans, 16 of 23, 183 yards, 1 touchdown pass. That was to Dooley of 9 yards. He was also intercepted today. Alexander rushing the football for the Titans, 12 carries for 55 yards. Healy, Walsh, and Dooley all with 5 receptions for Illinois Wesleyan. Meanwhile, Colton Bailing, the quarterback for the Pioneers, 9 of 15 for 75 yards. Parker Zitsky with 5 receptions for 49. Running the ball, Patrick Bell, 5 carries for 55 yards to lead the way for Carroll. That game now early in the third quarter, Illinois Wesleyan leading Carroll 14-7. At Washington University just scored as Nick Sion able to get in for the touchdown pass from Johnny Davidson, and now the Bears have opened up a 30-14 lead on North Park early in the third quarter. Davidson 23 of 25 for 275 yards and that touchdown pass. John Fisher, their fine running back, 17 carries for 56 yards. And Sion, the tight end, 9 receptions for 89 yards and the touchdown. 31-14 Wash U over North Park. Later tonight, it will be Milliken hosting Augustana. That'll be a 6:30 kickoff. And then at 7 o'clock tonight down in Naperville, the battle for the Little Brass Bell as North Central will host Wheaton in Naperville under the lights at Benedetti Worley Stadium. Other scores in football this afternoon, a couple of finals in the Big Ten. It was Indiana holding back Rutgers today, 24-17. Michigan State defeated Central Michigan today, 31-20. Games just getting underway this afternoon in Lincoln. Purdue taking on Nebraska. Also just getting underway down in Evanston, Michigan, taking on Northwestern. Later tonight in Happy Valley, it's going to be Penn State hosting Ohio State. Major League Baseball this afternoon. Cubs taking on the Cardinals. That is now a final. St. Louis has defeated Chicago 2-1 down at Wrigley Field. Nicholas picks up his 6th straight win for the Cardinals. He's now 18-4. Cole Hamels suffers his 3rd consecutive loss. He falls to 9-12. Hamels pitched well today. 7 innings of 3-hit ball, allowing just 1 earned run and 8 strikeouts. Meanwhile, Nicholas with 8 innings of 5-hit shutout ball. He struck out 6, did not walk a batter in that victory for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals remain alive for a wild card spot as they knock off the Cubs today. Now it's up to the Brewers tonight. If they can win their game tonight, it will be a tie going into the final game of the regular season tomorrow. That's if the Brewers defeat Ron Gardenhire's Detroit Tigers tonight at Miller Park. Here it's 42-0. Redmond leading Elmhurst at halftime. Lafayette McGarry with 4 first-half touchdowns today for the Redmen. We will take a break, take a 60 break, come back with more halftime programming right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at Art Keller Field in Kenosha. 42-0. Redmond lead the Elmhurst Blue Jays here at halftime. Part of Homecoming 2018, and a couple of events going on. At least one more sporting event tonight here at Carthage College. Women's volleyball, 6 o'clock over in the Tarbell Arena tonight. The Lady Reds will take on Augustana. And congratulations to Leanne Ulmer picking up her 500th win as Carthage coach last weekend over UW Oshkosh. So congratulations, Leanne, for your fine contributions to Carthage Lady Red volleyball through the years. And they will host Augustana in a conference meet tonight. Men's and women's soccer are on the road tonight. Men's soccer will take on the Elmhurst Blue Jays at 5 o'clock down at Langhorst Field. And then the Lady Reds will take on Elmhurst at 7:30 tonight. And that's the extent of the sporting events. A couple other items of note. Women's golf going on. The College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin conference meet down in Joliet Country Club in Joliet. And the Lady Reds going into play today find themselves in the second round in fourth place in the conference going into play here today. Meanwhile, the highlight of the day yesterday was Maddie McCoy. She had a hole-in-one on the par 3 8th hole. That marked Carthage's 4th hole-in-one and the first one for the women's golf team since September of 2011 when Brooke Mix accomplished that feat on the 15th hole at the Riverside Golf Course. McCoy's career low 80 on day 2 gives her a 5th place score individually of 164 after 2 days. Sarah Lyman led the 45 golfer field on day 2. She shot a 76 in that contest going on down in Joliet. So congratulations to Maddie McCoy with a hole-in-one on the par 3 8th hole down at Joliet Country Club. And again, it doesn't give me the distance here, but just tells me that she got the hole-in-one yesterday, and congratulations to her. Also of note, in track and field this past week, actually it was the cross country, I believe, in a meet up at Eau Claire. A couple of individual performances to stand out as the men's cross country team up at Whitetail Golf Course in Colfax, Wisconsin. They participated in the UW Eau Claire Blue Gold Invite. That's where the Division III Midwest Regional course is going to be held for the cross country. As career best times en route to a 19th place out of 29 teams, Logan Engbert had a personal best of 25 minutes, 44.7 seconds on the course. He shaved almost 19 seconds off his time from the Wheaton College Invitational back on September 15th. Stephen Wright improved his time with each meet this season. He notched a 26:52.7. And Thomas Olenek tallied a mark of 27:41.5. And Sunid Ahmad made his 2018 debut with a time of 27.494, while Eric Schmidt eclipsed a career best 27.59 in that cross-country meet. So congratulations to those individuals, part of the men's cross-country team finding some success up in Colfax, Wisconsin. Again, that will be the site of the 2018 NCAA Division III Midwest Cross-Country Regional. And they participated in that yesterday up in the Eau Claire area. Redmen and Blue Jays here this afternoon. Redmen well on their way to their 4th straight victory over Elmhurst. They lead it 42-0 here at the break. 4 touchdowns by Lafayette McGarry here today. McGarry with 101 yards rushing today as well. So he has posted a collegiate best here today with those 4 touchdowns. Blue Jays, by winning the coin toss, deferred their decision until the second half, so they will get the football to start our second half. Redmen go on the road next week. Carthage will travel to Bloomington to take on Illinois Wesleyan. They'll take on the Titans next Saturday. Tucci Field. We'll be with you at 12:30 with the broadcast. A 1 o'clock kick from Bloomington. And the Redmen return home for a pair of games. Mini homestand, if you will. They'll host Milliken on October 13th. And then they'll have 7th-ranked North Central here at Keller Field on October 20th. Before heading out to Chicago to take on North Park at the end of the October 27th in Chicago against North Park. Then their final home game of the season will be on November 3rd when they host 18th-ranked Wheaton and wrap up the regular season in Rock Island against Augustana. North Central and Wesleyan remain the 2 undefeated teams in conference play at 2-0. The Cardinals are 3-0 overall. The Titans 2-1 overall after losing a heartbreaker at home to UW La Crosse to open up the regular season. Then Augustana, Carroll, Milliken, Wash U, Wheaton, and Carthage all at 1-1. Elmhurst and North Park at 0-2 in conference play. So McGarry, a 10-yard touchdown run, a 1-yard, a 2-yard, and an 11-yard touchdown run to lead the way for the Redmen in that first half. Team stats in that first half. Redmen 16 first downs. They've rolled up 119 yards on the ground, 175 in the air. Averaging almost 6 yards per carry. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, -44 yards rushing, -21 receiving yards. So when you factor in the sacks today, they've run 32 plays for a total of 23 yards. That's less than 1 yard per play today by the Blue Jays offensively. Each team with an interception. Blue Jays also charged with a fumble. Redmen owning time of possession today, 18-12 to 11-48. Blue Jays are 0 for 8 on third downs, 0 for 2 on fourth downs. Meanwhile, the Redmen 4 for 7 on third downs today.
Starts the second half. Carthage to kick off. David Collins to kick for the Redmen.
Collins, the freshman out of Pewaukee, has it teed up for the Redmen here.
Gaines is deep for Elmhurst.
Gaines, who was injured late in that second quarter, came back in. He's back there to receive this kick for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays going right to left here in this third quarter. This is a low kick, going to be taken by the short man across the 20, 25, 30. Stood up and driven down there.
Justin Parbs returns.
Parbs with the return. Parbs with that return. It looked like Jalen Slater getting down there for the Redmen defensively on special teams. So the Blue Jays with just 23 total yards in that first half. It'll be Summers at quarterback. Ryan Summers, the sophomore, fakes the handoff, wants to go to the slant route, and it's incomplete, looking for Mimosa. Broken up by Connor Calvert for the Redmen. Defensively for the Redmen in this third quarter, Stubblefield, Seimer, Fry, and Benke. Trost and O'Boyle are the linebackers. Thigpen is your nickelback. Baker and Calvert on the corners, with Boomba and Dennis your safeties here to start this second half for the Redmen. Second down and 10 for the Blue Jays at their own 34-yard line. Three receivers to the right. Again, they try and throw that slant. In traffic, catch is made Juwan Gaines with that catch. Struggles forward across the 40. Going to be short of the first down, out to the 43-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd and 1 for Elmhurst. Kevin O'Boyle was there to make the tackle for the Redmen. Well, that's his 5th tackle of the day for Carthage. 3rd down and 1. And again, the Blue Jays 0 for 7 on 3rd down so far today. They'll bunch 3 receivers here to the left. Summers going to run option. Trying to get down the right side. Nothing there. Redmond shut it down as they string it out. Cam Stubblefield again in on the stop for the Redmen. Quite a day for Stubblefield today. That's his 5th tackle. 3rd tackle for a loss to go with 2 sacks today. So again, the Blue Jays failed to convert on 3rd down. And so it'll be Bazarek standing inside the 20, awaiting the Blake Bailey punt. Rush is coming. Rogalski nearly got it again. He blocked one earlier as this one goes to Bazarek at the 16. Breaks a tackle forward across the 20 out to the 22-yard line. 6-yard return for Bazarek. That'll set up the Redmen their first drive here to start this second half, leading 42-0, 13:21 to go in this 3rd quarter. Billy Dury, 7 of 11 for 147 yards. 1 interception at the end of that first half. Colton Klein, 3 for 6 for 28. And it's going to be Dury to start this 3rd quarter. Lafayette McGarry, 16 carries, a net of 92 today, but he has 4 touchdowns. He's in the backfield behind the quarterback, Dury. Again, Kyle Freiberg, not healthy to play today, got injured in the second half of that game last week and was held out of the game here today. McGarry loses a yard. Back to the 21-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Durns in on the tackle, along with Phelps, 2nd down, 11.
So up front, Grabner, Goldschmidt, Barker, Werner, and Ali. Again, this is McGarry with some room here around the right side, across the 25, out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 5, just short of the 27-yard line.
3rd down and 5 from the 27.
To make the stop for the Blue Jays, I should say, was Sean Jay, safety. Jay, 8 tackles now today. Leads his team in that category. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for the Redmen. Redmen 4 of 7 on 3rd downs today. Dury rolling to his left. Delivers, complete, far side, catch is made across the 35, out to the 40, and across the 42-yard line.
40 to the 43-yard line. Gain of 16.
16-yard pickup for the Redmen and a 1st down. Evan French with the catch. French now 5 receptions for 125 yards, averaging nearly 25 yards a carry. 1st and 10 Redmen. Their own 43-yard line. High snap to Dury, hands it off to McGarry, finds a seam. McGarry across midfield, turns it up a notch, breaks a tackle at the 40 and out of bounds at the Blue Jay 40, make it 36-yard line. Another nice strong run for Lafayette McGarry. Waited patiently for the seam to open. 21-yard pickup for McGarry. Ushered to the boundary that time by Clay.
Ball is spotted at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Redmen at the Blue Jay 36-yard line. 11:25 to go in the 3rd. Redmen lead it 42-0. Dury, the sophomore, hands it off again to McGarry, and he's tackled in the backfield for a loss. Breaking that play up for the Blue Jays. Their defensive tackle, Romaine Richards, a senior out of Tamarack, Florida, able to step in there and make the play. A loss of 3 sets up 2nd and 13 back at the 39-yard line of the Blue Jays. Liam Pooler gets the carry over the left side. Pooler get those yards back and a little bit more across the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Penalty marker inside the 30. Might be a holding call here against the Redmen. We'll see. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Redmen here. That's the 4th time today Redmen have been flagged for that kind of stuff.
Dead ball foul, Carthage, 15-yard penalty. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line.
Not sure what happened after the play.
3rd down and 23.
Looked like it was Nick Barker who got tangled up at the end of that play, and he's going to come out. He remains in there, excuse me, it was 54 that came out. That was Zach Grabner. Came to the near sideline. So Drew Neville is in there now to left guard for the Redmen. We got play clock down to 0. Delay a game here on the Redmen. This is what gets you here for Carthage. And I know Dustin Haas talked about this last week, and that is the penalties. And this is the Redmen are the most penalized team here in the conference coming into play this weekend. And you know, 4 of those penalties are just simple lose your composure penalties. Unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul calls. That stuff is easily cleaned up. Just hold your composure. Moves them 5 yards back here. 3rd and 28 now for the Redmen. I'm just going to hand it off to Pooler, and Pooler going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard, and that's it.
Gain of a yard on the play.
Brandon Dominski there on the stop. Senior linebacker for the Blue Jays. And so the penalties take the Redmen out of what was a nice drive. Klein on to punt. Just the 3rd time today, Klein's out there to punt. Gaines standing deep, and this one's blocked. Blue Jays block it, takes a forward roll across the 40. Redmen will let it roll dead inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. One more look here. Came from the left side. Replay was too fast, couldn't catch it. Came off that left side. See if we can get a number there. It was the outside guy. Got a right hand on it. And again, you got light blue jerseys with white numerals, so go figure that out. Anyways, Blue Jays will take over at their own 28-yard line, trailing 42-0. 8:51 to go here in the 3rd. First running play for a long time here to Holloway, and Holloway carries it across the 30 to the 31-yard line for a gain of 4. Just his 4th rush of the day. Holloway 4 carries, -4 yards.
2nd down, 7 from the 31.
Sets up a 2nd and a long 7 here for the Blue Jays. Gaines and Valcourt now here to the near side. Moser single coverage up top on the right side of the formation. Summers working from the pistol. Robley, the tight end, lined up on the right side as well here with Holloway in the backfield. Summers wants to run a draw. Up the middle, dives forward, short of the 1st down.
Summers across the 35 to the 36-yard
Cedric
line.
Fry was there.
The gain of 5 brings up 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2 upcoming. Fry and Trost were there defensively for the Redmen. And the Blue Jays 0 for 9 on 3rd downs today. Still have -12 passing yards today. Three receivers to the left, single receiver right. Now they break Holloway out of the backfield. Summers going to try and run up the middle, and he is denied. Cedric Fry
Summers on the carry. Redmond stop.
put out the arm bar that time and said, "Not so fast, my friend." Pulls Dury down, short of the first down, and the Blue Jays going to punt yet again.
For the Blue Jays, Tommy Bazaric deep for the Redmen.
Blake Bailey on for the 6th time today to punt. He might be their offensive MVP today. He's averaging 28 yards a kick. Had one blocked earlier. Again, they race in off the edge, and Rogalski nearly got it again. Fair catch signaled for and made on the end-over-end kick at the 34-yard line. Boy, every punt, Rogalski's coming in clean off the right side. He nearly got a hand on that one again. But Bazaric takes the fair catch at the 34-yard line, so with 6:40 to go here in the third, Redmond will take over, leading by a score of 42-0. Our Redmond football game today brought to you in part by Summers Garden, Florist and Gifts on 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By Armored Seal Coating, protecting your investment with asphalt seal coating and crack filling maintenance. By Wingstop of Kenosha on Highway 50. Order online at wingstop.com. 1st and 10 Redmond at their own 34-yard line. Colton Klein out there at quarterback. 3 for 6 today for 28 yards. He and Dury kind of alternating series here. Play fake, Klein sprints left side. Tries to get the edge across the 40 and hammered hard at the 45-yard line. Taken down low that time by Postman, the cornerback on that right side. Got 11 yards, though, and a first down for the Redmen. Watch the replay here. Got across the 45-yard line. It was Postman who just chipped him down low. But a first down here. The 45-yard line of the Redmen. Movement up front. And now the play's going to be whistled dead as the Redmen snap the football. French made the catch, but whistle stopping play.
Penalty markers on the play.
Looked like there was contact in the neutral zone here. Maybe the Blue Jays jumped the neutral zone, made contact with one of the offensive players before the snap. Yep, that's the call. Offside against the defense.
5-yard penalty, Elmhurst.
Sean Kelly.
Offsides, first down, 5 from midfield.
So Kelly, the guilty party, made contact in the neutral zone. 1st and 5 now for the Redmen. The ball at midfield. 5:57 to go here in the third. 42-0 Redmen. Colton Klein takes the snap, hands it off. McGeary round the left side across midfield. Still on his feet inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
It's a gain of 6 and a
6 more yards for Lafayette McGeary. 21 carries, 121 yards now for the senior out of Chicago. Has 4 touchdowns on the day. So 1st and 10 Redmond at the Blue Jay 45. McGeary single back. Steady diet. Well, fake going to throw it, and Klein overthrew Patton that time. Had a step inside on a post route on Postman. It was well overthrown, intended for Patton that time, but it goes incomplete. Figured we'd just see a steady diet of running here by the Redmen with this huge lead. Try and take down as much time as you can. McGeary gets the call here, has a hole over the right side, breaks a tackle inside the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, cuts back up the middle inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Lafayette McGeary again with another spectacular run down to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Redmond. Greer, the defensive back, on the stop. The shifty running back out of Chicago.
35-yard run.
We got a player down for the Redmen, so a timeout taken here by the officials. One of the linemen for the Redmen, that's Chase Blotkamp. The right guard for the Redmen, the senior out of Huntertown, Indiana. Going to be helped off here. Makes it over to the near sideline. So last run by McGeary for 35 yards. He's now at 156 yards on the day. Redmond an even 200 yards rushing this afternoon. They have shredded Glenn Briddick's defense today. Briddick, a former coach here at Carthage College, defensive coordinator for the Blue Jays. They have just been torn apart today by the Redmond offense. Klein fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, will keep it up the field to the 5, gets to the goal line, touchdown Carthage. Klein crossed the line and lost the football and took a pretty good shot, and he's down. Klein is down as he took a shot. 48-0 Redmond. And now Klein is up under his own power, but boy, he took a shot. He'll jog off to the near side here. He had the wind knocked out of him. He took the sleeve off his right hand. So Klein with a rushing touchdown today. We'll have to see how seriously hurt he is. He's making his way over here to the trainer's table down below our press box. Unland on for the extra point, the hold by Kiesel. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 49-0 Redmond with 4:46 to play here at Carthage College. 5-play, 66-yard drive. Klein with a 9-yard touchdown run. Redmond continue their domination over Elmhurst here today. Other games in the CCIW this afternoon. It's now in the fourth quarter in Waukesha. Illinois Wesleyan pulling away from Carroll. It's the Titans 28, the Pioneers 13. In Chicago, Washington University pulling away from North Park now, 38-21. That game late in the third quarter. Later on tonight, Milliken host Augustana. North Central will play host to Wheaton. Redmond with 400 yards of offense here today. We factor in the sacks and tackle for losses today. Elmhurst 38 plays, a net of 39. Greer now coming out of the, or Gaines I should say, out of his own end zone across the 15-20, far sideline 25. And tackled at the 31-yard line, met by a host of Redmond there. Good return by Gaines. Galski in there for the Redmond. So it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Jays at their own 30 with 4.5 minutes to go here in the third. Galvin Hope's in now. In for Amani Dennis. Some of the reserves getting a chance to play in that backfield. Virgil Young out there, along with Gazzano, Hopes, and Rogalski. Start this drive, the secondary for the Redmond. They will hand it off. Brett Von Schwedler, freshman, 6 foot, 150 pounder. Check that, was that 38 or 35? Pickup of 4. It was indeed Nate Booker, number 33, the senior out of Aurora. Gazzano getting the tackle there. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5 upcoming here for the Blue Jays. Empty the backfield. Hitch and go. Coming back the near side. That's going to be picked off. Intercepted by Virgil Young coming down the near sideline. 40, 35, 30. Young's going to return it. Pick 6 for Virgil Young. Penalty marker back near the 35-yard line. Let's hold the phone here. Going to be a block in the back here. That'll negate the interception return for a touchdown by Virgil Young. Don't know if we'll catch that on the replay or not, but
after the interception, personal foul, number 97, unnecessary roughness. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, first down, Carthage.
Personal foul on Jeremy Benke after the interception was made, so possession will be retained by the Redmen. We'll take another look here. That ball was underthrown, might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Virgil Young in front of Valcourt made the interception. And I'm not seeing, well, Benke was tangled up in the middle of the field. That's 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks now that have been taken off the board by penalty. Christian Jones had that 96-yard kickoff return last week that was muted by the block in the back penalty. Now Benke's personal foul took Virgil Young's pick 6 off the board. This is Pooler, met in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
Pooler on the carry.
Liam Pooler,
second and 11 from the 49.
Lose a yard here.
Andrew Mink on the tackle.
Mink there on the stop. Sophomore out of La Mesa, California for the Blue Jays. Second down and 11. Redmond with 3 picks today. Blitz is on. Dury trying to set up a screen. Gets it off to Pooler. Pooler with some room. Pooler inside the 40 and wrestled down at the 33-yard line. Liam Pooler on the screen pass that time. Dominski able to get him down. 19-yard pickup for Pooler off the screen. First down, Redmond. 2:55 to play here in the third.
First down, Carthage at the Elmhurst 32.
Those are the football just short of the 32-yard line. Redmond going left to right here in the third. Dury has Pooler off his left hip. Takes the snap, wants to throw, comes back near side. Catch is made. Nice grab here on the near side. First reception of the afternoon for C.J. Davis, the freshman out of Bloomington, Illinois. Davis 6'1", 206 pounds. That's his first catch as a Redman. Welcome to Carthage football, C.J. Davis. Davis will line up as a wideout left side along with Kiesel. Patrick Murphy lined up here to the near side. Give us to Pooler. Pooler tried to circle left side, pulled down from behind. Jimmy Phelps there, the senior out of Michigan for the Blue Jays. No game.
Along with Beck.
Sets up a 2nd and 10. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Redmond lead at 49-0. Virgil Young interception here. Redmond trying to take advantage of that. This time it's the freshman Fontenot with a run. Fontenot, touchdown! Touchdown, Carthage. Dana Fontenot out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. The freshman, his first touchdown as a Carthage player. And the Redmen have now built a 55-0 lead.
Unwin in to attempt the extra point. Kiesel to hold.
.20-yard touchdown for Dana Fontenot. And the extra point is up and good. 56-0 Redmond on top of Elmhurst.
Elmhurst, nothing.
Just total domination here today. Virgil Young getting the pick. Redmond capitalize off that turnover. They've dominated play here today. Nearly 27 minutes of possession time to just over 16 minutes for Elmhurst today. Blue Jays without a third down conversion today. They're 0 for 10. Redmond with 450 yards of total offense. Elmhurst with 43 yards of offense today. It is maybe as low as the Blue Jays can get. Last couple years, they just have not had much offensively. They've averaged, coming into today, just 11 points per game. That's going to go down if the goose egg stays on the board here. Gaines across the 10, circles left side across the 15, cuts at the 20. Still on his feet, out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Nearly lost the football, but he was ruled down by contact. Brandon Holy getting down there for the Redmond defensively on special teams.
Slater was on the stop.
Along with Slater.
Ball spotted at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 Blue Jays from their own 26 with 1:24 to go here in the third. 56-0 Redmond. Summers will hand it off. Stuffed right at the line of scrimmage is Booker. May have gotten a yard, that's it, as he was driven back by a host of Redmond players. Josh Wyand out of Indian Trail here in Kenosha. Wyand, a 5'11", 188-pound junior. Seeing some playing time here with this large lead.
And 8 from the 28.
Nice job by Wyand. And Jacob Seimer came in together here from Indian Trail High School. 2nd down, 9. Slot receiver to the right here for the Blue Jays. Summer wants to throw. Under pressure, scrambles to his left. Steps to the sideline, throws it away. Pressured out of bounds that time by Stephen Shipp. Shipp, the sophomore reserve linebacker out of Gibsonton, Florida. Sets up a 3rd and 9 now. As I mentioned, the Blue Jays 0 for 10 on third downs today. They'll bunch 3 receivers to the right, kind of a triangle formation. They break out of that now with Gaines coming in motion to the left. Pressure up the middle. Now Summers stances to his left, throws, and it's in. A completed pass to Robley. Ball came out. Redmond pick it up. Scrambling down the far sideline with a scoop and score are the Redmond. Looks like Marlon Sam out of Indianapolis with the scoop and score as Robley coughed it up as he was hit. And Sam ran it in. It'll stand as a touchdown. 62-0 Redmond. A scoop and score for Sam. How about that? Marlon Sam, the 5'11", 244-pound sophomore, after the hit on Robley, jarred the ball loose, scampered 35 yards for the touchdown, and the extra point is good. 63-0 Redmond. 21 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Redmond add to their lead. Marlon Sam. Get credit with the scoop and score. As the hit put on out there by Malik Thigpen that jarred the ball loose, and the 33-yard scoop and score for Marlon Sam. And the Redmond jump out 63-0. There is a late penalty marker here. sure what this is all about.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Elmhurst bench. The 15-yard penalty.
Ron Plants has had a long day today. And the bench now flagged for an unsportsmanlike. Redmond will kick off from the 50-yard line. I think he thought Robley was down. Vehemently protested to the point where he got flagged. Collins will belt this one into Racine. Out of the end zone for the touchback. Blue Jays will take over. Their own 25-yard line. Three receivers to the right here on 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Blue Jays. Summers will keep it up the middle with some room. Summers cross midfield. Summers to the Redmond 48-yard line before he's pulled down there. That's the biggest play from scrimmage today for the Blue Jays. Hoops able to make the stop. That's a 27-yard run. Second longest of the day. Summers had a 41-yard rush earlier. And that'll end our third quarter here in Kenosha. 63-0 Redmond on top of the Blue Jays, headed to the fourth after this 60-second break on AM 1050 WLIP. Screen out here to Booker, makes the catch. That's Gaines, excuse me, with the wide receiver screen, and takes it down to the Redmond 39-yard line.
39-yard line. It's a gain of 9, second down and a yard.
Pickup of 9 on the play there. Be short of the first down, 2nd and 1 upcoming here for the Blue Jays. .63 points here by the Redmond, the most scored since they beat Aurora here back in 2015, 51-11. Booker around the left side. Booker breaks one tackle, picks up the first down to the 37-yard line, working the left side. Malik Thigpen got him to the turf, and Thigpen's going to come out.
Elmhurst, 1st and 10 at the Carthage 37.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Jays at the Redmond 37-yard line. Four receivers, 2 to a side here. Gaines in motion. Hand it off to Booker, left side. Booker down the far sideline, 20, 15, 10. Knifed out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. First and goal in favor for the Blue Jays. Civil run around the left side. Lineman got downfield and destroyed the Redmond secondary that time. Dowda Presley got down there to take down Booker before he got in the end zone. Spotted at the 7, first and goal Blue Jays from the 7. Been in the red zone twice today, come away empty. Again, Gaines in motion. Give us to Booker, tries to go up the middle, stops shy of the 5-yard line.
Booker for a yard, second down goal from
Mark
the
it at the 6. Redmond player injured now, slow to get up. Now back on his own feet was Cashman Beal. Beal, a freshman out of Case High School. Brian Shreddle, hello. Former Redmond, head football coach now at Case High School. They lost to Tremper last night. Gaines in motion to the right side on second and goal from the 6. Summers rolling right, throwing right, completes to Gaines, touchdown Blue Jays. There goes the shutout.
6 yards and an Elmhurst touchdown. 12:45 to go in the fourth.
Gaines with the 6-yard touchdown reception blows the shutout. Blue Jays on the board, extra point pending.
Bailey in to attempt the extra point.
Blake Bailey on for the extra point. This one's up, and this one is through. 63-7, 12:45 to go here in this fourth quarter. Six-play, 75-yard drive. 7 on the run by Summers. And the Blue Jays find the end zone for the first time this afternoon. Summers now 6 of 19, 31 yards, a touchdown. He's been sacked twice, he's thrown 2 picks. Gaines today, 4 receptions. That was his for 29 yards. That touchdown reception, his first of the afternoon. For Gaines on the season. That is his third touchdown of the year, I should say.
Bailey to kick. Christian Jones, Tommy Bazaric deep for the Redmond.
Bazaric and Jones will stand deep here. See the 2s and 3s in on offense here for the Redmen. I'm sure this will be a high and short kickoff. Jones on the run at the 12. Near sideline across the 20, 25, 30. Spins across the 35, out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. 32-yard run and another late marker thrown after the tackle. A lot of chippiness and a lot of chirpiness over there on that Blue Jay side.
No foul on the play.
No flag. Okay, they'll pick it up. There's a lot of trash talking going on after the play. A lot of Blue Jay players talking to the Redmond sideline here. Don't know what you could be saying when you're down 63-7. There's be a new quarterback in here for the Redmen. Cameron James, 6'1", 166, a junior out of Maywood. He's listed in the depth chart as a wide receiver, but he's in here at quarterback now. Fakes the handoff, swings it out, completes the pass far side. Short gain on the reception out there. Christian Jones.
James pass complete to Jones.
Out near the 45-yard line.
To the 45-yard line, there is a penalty marker on the play.
Got a holding call here against the Redmen.
81.
C.J. Davis, the guilty party here.
Offensive holding against the Redmond, ball spotted at the 35-yard line. It's first down and 17.
The holding call moves it back to the 35-yard line, brings up a 1st and 17 for James and the Redmond offense. Liam Pooler in the backfield. He'll get the call coming around the left side. Breaks a tackle across 35-40. On his feet, 45-50. Out of bounds near the Blue Jay 45-yard line. Shoving him out that time was Jay, the safety. Another nice run by Liam Pooler. On 1st and 17, we'll pick up the first down. 20-yard run for Pooler. Pooler now 8 carries for 28 yards today. The big story, Lafayette McGarry, 156 yards and 4 touchdowns today for the Redmen. James fakes the handoff, completes the pass out here near side. C.J. Davis with the catch inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Jay and Phelps both there. A collision in that backfield between Pooler and James, running that play fake. But it still worked, down to the Blue Jay 33. 11:25 to go, we're in the 4th quarter. Redmond lead at 63-7. We get this kind of offense going next week at Illinois Wesleyan. Pooler lines up right side of James. James will take the snap, hands it off to Pooler, dances his way up the middle inside the 30, hammered down near the 28-yard line. Still run by Pooler. T.B. Burns able to make the tackle for the Blue Jays. Jays still with their 1s and 2s out there yet defensively. Well, the Redmen are into their 3s and in some cases 4s out here now. Jones lined up in a slot right side. Split out near side is C.J. Davis. Along with Patrick Murphy on that far side. James wants to throw, swings it out, completes. Ball out, and able to recover are the Blue Jays as the catch was made to Jones. Christian Jones made the catch and then tried to make a move at the 25-yard line and coughed up the ball. Blue Jays recover on the fumble by James. Or Jones, I should say. James with a nice pass threw it to the outside shoulder. Jones made the catch, and then as he tried to fight across the 25, got stripped out of there by Stephen Postman. And the recovery by the Blue Jays. Elmhurst ball with 10:23 to go, trailing 63-7. They'll hand it off. Booker trying to work his way up the middle. Going to be stopped at the 25, gain of 2.
Nate Booker, the ball carrier. Slater on the tackle.
Slater was there for the Redmen.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 25.
Sets up 2nd and 8 from the 25. Jalen Slater. Some new names in there now. Summers, play fake, wants to throw it, complete to Mimoser, but caught it as he was falling down at the 29-yard line.
Summers pass complete to Mimoser. He's at the 34-yard line.
Put 2 hands on him just to make sure, but again, when your knee is down in college football, you're down. Sets up a 3rd down and 4. And the Blue Jays yet to convert a 3rd down today. They're 0 for 11. Moser, Valcourt, and Gaines now to the left side with Gaines in motion back to the near side. Now the blitz coming, gets it away, and it's thrown incomplete. Man was wide open, Valcourt, but I think Summers saw the rush coming off the edge here on this near side, was pressured, had to get that one away.
98 Bailey is in the kick, 24 Tom
It was
Bazaric
Stephen
is
Ship
for the
on the
Redmen.
pressure that time. Got the ball away quickly. Was thrown low, just trying to get out of the way. So they're 0 for 12 now on third downs today. Blake Bailey on to punt. 7th punt today. That was again nearly blocked by Rogalski. Caught by Bazaric across the 45 and down to midfield. Robley able to come up and make the play. Special teams. And so the Redmen will take over at midfield with 8:50 to play.
First and 10, Carthage from their own
Offense
49.
huddled around their coaching staff here. Again, a couple of new coaches on board this year for the Redmen. R.J. Chedester, quarterback's coach. Really a funny guy. Loved hanging around with him in St. Louis last weekend. A lot of good stories. He's the quarterback coach, along with Bill Lund, one of the assistant coaches on board this year for Dustin Haas. Cameron James still in there now at quarterback. Will hand it off, and coming around the near side with it for the Redmen is Nicholas Del Nodo. Del Nodo, a 5'10 freshman out of Brookfield, Illinois. His first carry today.
Del Nodell on the carry. Gain of 2, second down 8 from the
Pickup
49.
of 2 down to the 49-yard line of the Blue Jays. Sets up a 2nd down and 8 here for the Redmen. Del Nodal again on the carry down to the 47. Small gain of 2.
Del Nodell on the carry.
Wrapped up on the
No
play.
gain, third down 8 from the 49.
Dominski, Brandon Dominski in there at linebacker, able to make the stop. Sets up a 3rd and 8 here for the Redmen. Again, just trying to peel some time off the clock here. Long afternoon. All the touchdowns scored by the Redmen today, to the tune of 63 points. The most points in 2 years, 3 years actually. As James now on the scramble down the far sideline, gets out of bounds near the 45-yard line of the Blue Jays.
Cameron James on the carry.
And so the punting unit on now for the Redmen.
Gain of 2. Brings up 4th down. And
Ricky
5
Klein on to
for
punt.
Redmond,
He
27.
has had a quiet
Ricky
day,
Klein
only
is
4
in the
punts
punt.
today. He's averaging 31 yards
Gaines is
per
deep
kick.
for the Blue Jays.
Ever dangerous Juwan Gaines standing at the 10-yard line. Klein, a lefty, ready to drive this football. It's a good snap, gets this one away. It's going to sail out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Official walking up the far sideline with it. It's going to go out at the 20, right at the 20-yard line. 7:06 to play here this afternoon. Redmond lead it by a score of 63-7. 28-13 late in the 4th quarter. Illinois Wesleyan over Carroll. Wash U, another touchdown in the 4th quarter. They lead North Park now 44-21. Redmond and Wash U will both be at 2-1 now in the league. As they try and run up the right side across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. Booker again on the carry, his 7th carry today.
Along with Ricken. Ball at the 24-yard line, gain of 4, second down and 6.
Clock continues to roll here, 6:35 to play. Redmond are in Bloomington next week, take on Illinois Wesleyan. 12:30 our broadcast from Tucci Field. It's Illinois Wesleyan's homecoming game next week. Try and go up the middle, there's nothing there.
Booker for
Again,
Blue
Booker
Jays.
trying to find some running room. Good stout defense by the Redmen.
Gain of a yard, 3rd and 5 from the 25.
They'll call it a gain of 1. Joe Montoya there on the stop. In that crowd of red jerseys, make the play. Another 3rd down here for the Blue Jays. 0 for 12 today on 3rd downs. Summers gets this one away, completes over the middle on a post route, penalty marker down. Mimosa down the near sideline to the 30, 25-20, 15 down to the 10. As he's driven into the turf there, got tripped up on the play by Nathan Ricken. Let's check out the penalty flag. Holding against the Redmen, so the play will stand. Defensive holding call here on the Redmen. I think it was on the defender on Mimosa. And it might have been the man who made the tackle for the Redmen there. I think the holding call would have been on Ricken. Nathan Ricken, the freshman defensive back out of Oswego. 64-yard pass to Mimosa. Sets up the Blue Jays 1st and 10 at the Redmen 11-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to go here. Carthage leading 63-7. The player cut up field early, well before the snap. Flags come running down. Grimble that time, who was in motion, turned up field before the snap.
5-yard penalty, Elmhurst, ball start.
Move the ball back to the 16-yard line here. Be a 1st and 15 now for the Blue Jays.
16-yard line.
Summers today 8 for 22 for 99 yards now, 64 of them on that last pitch. 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. 4 receiver look here, 2 to a side. And Gaines in motion to the left side. Now Summers under pressure, and down he goes back at the 17-yard line. Ball came out. They're still fighting for it. See who came up with it. It was Sullivan who got there first for the Redmen. Blue Jays will retain possession here.
By the Blue Jays.
Be a loss back to the 17-yard line. That'll be the 3rd sack of the afternoon for the Redmen. It sets up a 2nd and 17. Brett Sullivan credited with that sack. Put 25 on the play clock here. Play fake to Booker, pass thrown behind Mimosa on a slant route from the left side, incomplete. Virgil Young out there. Young with a pick today for the Redmen defense. He was the defender back there. And the Blue Jays now 1 for 13 on 3rd downs with that 64-yard catch by Mimosa. Face a 3rd and 16. Ball at the 17-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go, and now timeout taken here by Elmhurst. We'll take a break as well. 60-second break coming your way. 63-7. Redmen in front. Back after this on 1050 WLIP. 3rd down and 16. Scrambling is Summers to his right, throws it away, and it is incomplete. Ball hit the ground. It was intended for Mimosa and broken up on the play by the Redmond defender, Josh Wyand. Got a hand in there late to pull that one away from Mimosa. Great job by Wyand, the Indian Trail grad.
4th down, 16 from the 17.
4th and 16 now, facing the Blue Jays from the Redmond 17-yard line. They'll go for it here on 4th down. Bunch formation, trips to the left side. Now Gaines in motion. Summers steps up, throws low, incomplete. There was pressure on the play. Redmond got there just as he let go of that football.
Summers pass intended for ball court, incomplete.
Looked like Dylan Ramirez providing the pressure that time, forcing that incompletion as Summers had to get rid of it. And that will pretty much do it now. Redmond can run out the clock here and take this one into the locker room with a 63-7 victory, barring any type of turnover here. Cameron James again out there at quarterback. Redmond used 3 quarterbacks today. Again, Kyle Freiberg not available today, out with an injury. I'll hand it off. This is Dominic Lucido with his first carry this afternoon. Lucido, the senior out of Munster, Indiana, picks up 4 on the play for the Redmond. Been a good day today. Dury, 10 of 14, 193 yards. Klein, 3 for 7 today and a touchdown. James, 3 for 3 today, 19 yards. Redmond have rolled up over 500 yards of offense here today. Lucido again will get the call, coming around the left side. Lucido trying to stay in bounds and just goes down at the 22. So he was tackled from behind that time by Derek McCullum, 6-foot sophomore.
Gain of a yard. 3rd down, 5 from the 22.
Picks up a yard, but more importantly, stayed in bounds, running that clock down here. Redmond will get this play off with under 2 minutes to go. So it's off to Bloomington next week for the Redmond. They will take on Illinois Wesleyan. Wesleyan a winner in Waukesha today as they knocked off Carroll 28-13. Lucido again, trying to pick his way up the middle, going to be pulled down right at the line of scrimmage. Huxold, sophomore, linebacker there for the Blue Jays. Brings up 4th down. 4th and 5 for the Redmond here. Clock rolls, minute 35 remaining. Blue Jays are going to fall to 0-3 in the conference. Redmond are going to jump to 2-1. Wesleyan now at 3-0 with their win over Carroll. Carroll now at 1-2. Carthage going to take this all the way down and take the timeout here with 1:06 remaining.
First of the half.
So McGarry today, your star player for the Redmond, 22 carries, 156 yards and 4 touchdowns. Played 1 series in this 3rd quarter, and then it was relief time for the 2s, 3s, and 4s today.
Ricky Klein is in the kick for the Redmond.
Evan French with a nice afternoon, 5 receptions, 125 yards. Sean Wells just the 1 catch, but a touchdown for Wells today, the tight end. Klein, Fontenot, and Dury, the other touchdowns for the Redmond rushing today. This is Ricky Klein on to kick. Gaines standing near midfield. Klein got that one away. was knocked to the turf, no call. Gaines got a hand on it, ball's loose on the turf, recovered by the Redmen. Gaines is making a diving catch. He's pleading that he was interfered with as that ball came down, and coming away with it for the Redmen is Galvin Hopes.
Was a fumble at the end of Klein's kick, recovered by the Redmen. Carthage takes over.
So it'll be Carthage ball at the Blue Jay 46-yard line with 58 seconds to play, and this should be victory formation time for the Redmen. Two knees. Let's head to the locker room and warm up. An impressive win, a good bounce back today for the Redmen after that 51-31 loss last week in St. Louis. Defense comes up big. Ones and twos did very well today, pitching a shutout through 3 quarters. In victory formation, they'll take the knee. One more snap, and this one's in the book. Carthage will get to 2-1 in the league. 2-2 overall, with a trip to Wesleyan next Saturday. Wesleyan 3-1 overall, 3-0 in the conference. The snap, the knee, and this one over. A rout by the Redmen here today as they knock off Elmhurst by a score of 63-7, sending the homecoming crowd home happy here today. Dustin Haas picking up his first home win as head coach of the Redmen. 63-7 your final. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our post-game report, including a visit with head coach Dustin Haas. All that coming up right after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Redmen Football on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at Art Keller Field in Kenosha. Redmen put 42 up in the first half, and they go on to rout the Blue Jays today by a final of 63-7. Lafayette McGarry with 4 first-half touchdowns today to lead the way. And then touchdown runs by Klein, Fontenot, and Dury. Also added to that, 1 touchdown pass thrown by Klein today. That was to Sean Wells from 14 yards out. Redmen roll up over 500 yards of offense today. They limit the Blue Jays to 196 yards, just 3 yards per play today for the Blue Jays, as They hold Elmhurst under their season average. They've been averaging just shy of 11 points per game. They get a late touchdown here in the second half to take the shutout away, but still the sting nonetheless. 63-7, your final here this afternoon. Redmond with 263 yards on the ground and 240 in the air today. And Carthage taking advantage of a couple of takeaways, a couple of interceptions that they capitalized into points today. They just throttled Elmhurst today. As you look at the final statistics, Elmhurst with just 8 first downs. Blue Jays were 1 for 14 on third downs today and 0 for 3 on fourth down conversions. Redmond dominated time of possession today, nearly 34 minutes of possession time for the Redmen here today. They averaged nearly 15 yards per catch, and they averaged over 5 yards per carry today as they rout the Elmhurst Blue Jays, winning their 4th straight in this series. 63-7, your final here today. So Carthage now at 2-2 overall, 2-1 in the league. Elmhurst falls to 1-3 overall and 0-3 in conference play. Individually here this afternoon for the Redmen, Billy Dury starting ahead of Kyle Freiberg, who was out with injury today. Dury 10 of 14, 193 yards, did not throw a touchdown, was not sacked, did throw an interception. It was at the end of the second quarter, really as time ran out in that second quarter. His only blemish today, that one interception, but Dury also running the football today. He had the one touchdown run of 24 yards to add to his total here today. And looking at the other stats, as I mentioned, Lafayette McGarry, his finest day, his biggest day of the year so far for Lafayette McGarry. 22 carries, 156 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He had his longest run of the season, 35 yards today, averaged over 7 yards per carry for Lafayette McGarry today. An outstanding run by the senior today. Liam Pooler, 9 carries for 34 yards. Colton Klein, 5 carries for 31 and a touchdown. Also getting into the act here today, a freshman out of Louisiana, Dana Fontenot, 5'9", 192-yard freshman running back, looked pretty good. 4 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown today, a long of 20. We mentioned Dury's 24-yard touchdown run. Dominic Lucido, 3 carries for 5 yards. Del Nodal with the 2 carries here in the second half. And Cameron James, third quarterback used today, getting in there as well. And he had 1 rush for 2 yards. On the receiving end here today, Evan French with 5 receptions, 125 yards today, a long of 51. Brett Patton continues his development, 3 catches, 31 yards. Davis with 2 catches for 23 today, and he is starting to find some field time here. C.J. Davis, the freshman out of Bloomington, here in the second half, catching a couple of passes. Liam Pooler with a catch. Bezeric, 1 catch for 19 yards. Sean Wells, a touchdown reception out of the tight end today. So really everything clicking here for the Redmen as they roll up 503 yards en route to the 63-7 victory today. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, they get 196 yards of offense today, 123 on the ground, 73 in the air. Summers today was 8 for 25 for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. And really this day got off to such a inauspicious start for the Blue Jays. They started their 3rd quarterback of the year, Jake Tahaney, took the first snap today, and on the first pass attempt was drilled as he threw the football and left the ball game not to return. So it was turned over to Ryan Summers, who had a pretty average day today. 8 for 25, 99 yards. All of that, most of that coming on that 64-yard Mimosa reception here in the 4th quarter. But he was 8 for 25 for 99 yards. He threw 2 picks, was sacked twice, and just the 1 touchdown pass. Rushing the football today, Summers was their leading runner. 13 carries for a net of 68, a long of 41. Booker in the second half had a pretty nice game. That was Nate Booker, the senior out of Aurora. He was 8 carries for 46 yards, a long of 30. Robley, 3 carries for a net of 19. And that closes out the rushing stats here today for the Blue Jays. On the receiving end, Jawan Gaines, who's a threat at any time. Redmond did a pretty good job keeping him off the score sheet today. 4 receptions for 29 yards, just the 1 touchdown, a 9-yard reception. That coming here in the fourth quarter with the 3s and 4s playing here for the Redmen in this fourth quarter. Mimosa, 3 receptions for 83, all of that coming on that 64-yard third down conversion. Tight end Robley with 1 catch for 2 yards. Third down conversions today, the Redmen were 6 of 12. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays 1 of 14. Blue Jays also 0 for 3 on fourth downs today. Heavy flag day for both teams. Each team penalized 8 times. Redmond flagged 8 for 99. Blue Jays 8 for 70. Blue Jays had 3 fumbles today to go with the 2 interceptions, so the Redmen with 5 takeaways. Carthage now a +2 in the turnover takeaway department, now back in positive numbers for the first time this season. And that's been a staple here for Redmond football the last 5 or 6 years, and that's winning the turnover battle. They did that here today. Punting the ball, Ricky Klein today, 3 punts, an average of 29, a long of 32. Amani Dennis had the 1 punt for 38 yards. Blake Bailey, a busy afternoon. He had 6 punts today, averaging 33 yards with a long of 42. And on the defensive side today, Cam Stubblefield, an outstanding day today. 5 tackles, a pair of sacks, 3 tackle for losses today as the Redmen post their most points since 2016, 63-7, the final over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Joined now by head football coach Dustin Haas. Coach, congratulations, first home win as your head coach here at Carthage.
Thank you. Always excited to get a win. Doesn't matter if it's here or on the road. Winning is fun.
It was a fun afternoon, and I don't know where to start here. I mean, everyone was worried about the quarterback position today with Freiberg not being in there, but turns to the senior out of Chicago, Lafayette McGarry today. 22 carries, 156 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
He ran the ball really well. You know, he's kind of, Tommy Bazarek is kind of Carroll College's kryptonite, and Lafayette McGarry kind of has those kind of games against Elmhurst.
Yes, he does. I'll tell you what. And credit to the offensive line today. I think they did a much better job.
They did a
most
phenomenal
of the day.
job, not only in pass protection, but they opened up some massive holes. You know, it's pretty easy to be a running back when there's nobody anywhere near you.
He did a fantastic job. The line today, outstanding. And your quarterback play today between Dury and Klein, I thought was pretty good. Combined 13 of 21, over 200 yards, a touchdown, and only 1 sack today. Kept them clean.
They played well. You know, obviously having a clean pocket is good. Like you mentioned, the offensive line did a great job in pass protection. They made great decisions all day long, and you know, like we said, we've got all the faith in the world in both those guys, and they'll continue to both play, and I think they'll continue to both play well.
Lafayette McGarry with the 4 touchdowns. On defense, I talked about Stubblefield. I thought his was his best game maybe as a Redmond today.
He played phenomenal. He was all over the ball. I tell you what, he had a great week of practice, and it really showed today.
He did. He was coming off the ball hard, and again, he had a good game last week, had that fumble recovery last week, and to go this week now with a pair of sacks and 3 tackle for losses today.
We'll see if he can keep it up the rest of the way out.
Certainly going to be nice to have, but I thought your defense, especially on third down today, got off the field. 1 of 14, the Blue Jays today on third down conversions.
They did. They did a really good job getting off the field. We got them in some long, third and long situations, and we're kind of able to let those D linemen loose a little bit, widen them out, and let them get after the passer there.
Yeah, and you know, you look at the score and you say, man, they must have ran it up on the Blue Jays today, but you know, I feel for the Blue Jays too, because I've been here long enough. I've seen what it's like on that side, trying to build a program back up and essentially starting from scratch. And Ron Plant's very nice guy. Just right now, the cupboard's empty. I mean, their starting quarterback hurt on the first play today. Actually, their third quarterback. They've lost their 2 seniors, so they've had to turn it over to the sophomore here today and try and find something offensively.
Yeah, it's always tough when you get bit by the injury bug, and especially at the same position. Like you said, that was their 3rd string. He got hurt. We went on to the 4th string, and any time in you know, any level of sports, if you're on your 4th string player, you're really, there's a drop off there.
Yeah, we saw some new faces out here today. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of players that we saw for the first time today, and particularly Fontenot, the kid out of Louisiana.
Yeah, he ran the ball really well. You know, he started showing up about 2 weeks ago in a JV game, and he was running the ball hard. He finally figured out what he was doing. And, he got a good kid on the field, and he's been getting reps, and the situation presented itself, and he ran the ball hard, ran the ball well, and got his first collegiate touchdown.
Yeah, he did, and I'll tell you what, he's a good-looking player at 5'9", 192 out of Lake Charles. That's Southeast Conference football territory you're able to recruit out of.
You're exactly right. We went down to Texas. We've been going down to Florida, went down to Texas this year, and we're able to get quite a few players out of that region down there, good football players.
That, and I thought, as part of your reserves today, how about Josh Wyand? I thought he played well. We don't see much of him, the junior out of Indian Trail. He's the other package with Simar. They both kind of came together, and I like Josh. I really do, and it's trying to fight to find a spot for him out there right now.
He's a great kid, and for the last 2 years, he's been kind of a special team stalwart for us. He's been behind Jogi Boomba, who's been a pretty consistent, good football player for us, so it's been a little bit of a struggle for him to get a lot of defensive snaps, but he had a great fall camp, he had a great August, and you can see he's still playing at a high level, and when he got his chance there, he did some good things.
Another player that took advantage of his playing time today, Marlon Sam, the 33-yard scoop and score, the sophomore out of Indy.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot there. Right place, right time, and I tell all those guys all the time, you run to the football, good things will happen, and he took it to heart, was around the football, did a great job scooping the ball up and scoring for us.
I thought today, too, better job rallying to the football today and a lot better tackling today.
We were much better tackling. Now, that was something we emphasized. We spent Tuesday, a lot of individual tackling drills. We let them tackle as a team in some team periods. We usually don't do that, and I think it paid off.
And I know, as you get deeper into the season, are you one of those coaches that wants to back off on the physical contact during the week?
It's a fine line, You got to still be able to tackle well, but at the same time, you don't want to get guys hurt. They only have so many hits in their bodies, and you want to take them out on Tuesday when you can use them on Saturday.
Yeah, this was special today, and we talked about it in the pregame, and I heard some nice feedback from some of the players that came back. You invited some of the football alumni back to spend some time with the team this morning, and that was a very positive move on your part. Kudos to you.
Thank you. It was a great experience. We had about 35 guys. A couple of them were able to bring their sons as well, and it was just a good experience. We had guys from every decade from the 60s on. So they had quite a few stories to tell and share, and it was good to connect those guys with each other and with our current players, and something we'll continue to do in the future. It was a very positive experience, not only for those guys I hear, but for our guys as well.
Yeah, there were several from the 04 team that were here, and Jason Antanisoff, one of them. I happened to bump into him on the way in this morning, and he was just excited to have this, and he was the one that was really wanted to thank you for that, because he said for the first time, he said he thought the football alumni feel attached to the program now. They're back with the program.
Well, that's good. I told those guys that this is their program. At some point, either I'm going to leave or the powers that be are going to make me leave. But those are the ones that they'll stay here forever. This is their program from now on, and they need to feel that they're always welcome here.
That was a very nice gesture on your part, and I know the guys, I saw them at breakfast, they were happy to get a nice meal today, too, out of it. So
that's good.
Hey, anytime you can feed people, right? That's
no doubt.
always,
it makes them happy.
No doubt.
For sure.
You bet. Well, okay, this one, you enjoy this one for the next 12, 14 hours or so, but now you got to look at Illinois Wesleyan, who picked up a good road win today over a stubborn Carroll team, as they beat Carroll today in Waukesha 28-13.
Wesleyan's a good football team. They've been a good football team since I've been here. They're fundamentally sound. They're very well coached. I think Norm Ash, Coach Ash there, is the all-time CCIW conference wins leader. So obviously they know how to win, and it's going to be a good challenge. We're going on the road again. It's always tough to play on the road, especially at their place. But I know our guys will be ready. I know they're going to have a good week of practice, and we're going to come out and compete and see what happens.
Yeah, you got to kind of pick your poison with them. You either got Brandon Bauer standing back there throwing for 300 yards as he did today, 23 of 34 for 282 yards and a touchdown. But you got Alexander, their running back, is a stud. 23 carries, 107 yards today.
Yeah, they lean on him a bunch. They've got a good offensive line. Coach Ash, that's what he prides himself in. He's an O-line guy, and they're going to hand the ball. And I tell you what, that Healy kid at wideout, he's a big, tall target that Bauer does a great job getting him the football in some key situations, and I think, he makes plays. That kid catches everything, and they've got a good offensive package, and it'll be a good challenge for our defense.
And it's next Saturday down in Bloomington, so another long bus ride to Bloomington and hopefully pick up a win next week. But enjoy this one. This is a good one. I think took some sting out of that loss last week, I think, by putting 63 on the board today.
We got rid of a little bit of frustration, and now it's time to go back to work and get ready for Wesleyan.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Get out there and enjoy it. Appreciate you stopping up.
Thank you
Dustin
very
Haas,
much.
thank you. Dustin Haas, head football coach for the Carthage Redmen, joining us in our postgame here this afternoon. A 63-7 victory by the Carthage Redmen over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Fourth straight win in this series with Elmhurst. Redmen now at 2-1 in the conference and 2-2 overall. Again, some finals from this afternoon. Wesleyan defeated Carroll 28-13. Wash U defeated North Park today 44-21 in Chicago. Davidson threw for 452 yards today, 37 of 41 for 452 yards. And Nick Sion had 98 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Dedeker, 7 receptions, 132 yards, and a touchdown for the visiting Bears from St. Louis. They ran up 32 first downs and 603 yards of offense today on the Parkies, knocking off the Vikings 44-21. Other games tonight, Milliken will host Augustana. That game to kick off at 6:30. And the battle for the Little Brass Bell in the conference between North Central and Wheaton, that'll take place at 7 o'clock tonight down in Naperville. Final in baseball today, Cardinals beat the Cubs 2-1. And in the Big Ten earlier this afternoon, it was Indiana over Rutgers 24-17. They spotted Rutgers a 7-0 lead, but then came back to win that one 24-17. Michigan State over Central Michigan 31-20. Games in progress right now. Purdue leading Nebraska in Lincoln today 17-7, approaching halftime. And Northwestern up on Michigan in the first quarter. That's up 7-0. The Wildcats on top of the Wolverines. And then tonight, the big battle tonight in Happy Valley, it's Penn State taking on Ohio State in the big nationally televised game tonight. Kickoff at around 6:30 on ABC tonight. And so we got a final here today. Redmond pick up the win. They go to 2-1 now in the league and 2-2 overall with a 63-7 victory over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. My thanks to Scott DeLabio for all the work he did to keep us on the air here today. Folks, you don't know what this man did behind the scenes to keep us going all afternoon long here on 1050 WLIP. And John Voinovich, thank you for all your efforts here. Our head of streaming video for the video stream here today. Don't forget, we've got the women's volleyball tonight on the video stream. That's coming up at 6 as they take on Augustana this evening. For everyone associated with Carthage football, I'm John Weiser. Thank you for tuning in to Carthage Redmond football, heard exclusively on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050, WLIP Kenosha. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Scott will talk.